Konnichiwa!
Minasan! Konnichiwa!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Talk to Keki. I'm back from Greece. We watched a lot of anime. We're getting ready for our winter finale next week, where we do our awards. But we got a lot to talk about today.
Like always.
And this fucking dog will not disappear from my screen on this My Anime List website.
A dog?
Yeah, it's like the police say, "Hey, come here, have a seat."
Inu desu ka, Makun? Inu desu ka?
It's like, what are you doing here?
Bro, quit looking at fucking porn, dude, on your shit.
No, it's just tell me, hey, there's something wrong with your list. What's wrong with it? There's nothing wrong with it. I checked it like 5 times. It's fine. Shut up.
Wakarenai.
Yeah, that. Okay. Anyway, we're all caught up. There's no backlog.
Damn, hold on. You didn't even give me a fucking intro, you stupid fucking.
I'm getting to it.
I'm like, oh, you're like, anyway, we caught up. Like, you're just going into the shit. Like,
yeah. I was getting to it, so you rudely cut me off, sir.
God damn it.
Telling me to take a seat over there.
Go, man. Go, man. Go, man. Go, man.
Anyway, to join me, this guy that was impatient for an introduction.
Hi.
Even.
Konbawa minasan. Genki desu ka?
Daijoubu.
Daijoubu desu ka?
Everything is daijoubu.
Ides.
But anyway, yes, I took off for a couple weeks. I was in Greece.
How was that, buddy?
It was beautiful.
Did you have a Euro trip or no?
No, I didn't have a Euro trip.
You didn't have your ass pressed against the glass while you were fucking in the Vatican?
No, there was no Vatican near me.
I know, that's in Italy, near Greece.
Yeah.
Serious question. Anything with like Ukraine that you saw in Greece? It's not close, but it's kind of close in a way.
No, it's like 1,000 or so miles away. So
it's from here to New York.
Yeah, they're up north. I was more south.
I
saw the news for a little bit, even though
you didn't understand
speaking in Greek and there was no English subtitles on their televisions.
Goddamn, it's not like anime. Fuck.
No. And whenever you did watch an American movie, you had the Greek subtitles.
Oh, so you saw a bunch of something.
It was weird watching SpongeBob in Greek.
But you should have watched the anime in the hotel room.
The service and reception there was really shitty. So
was it?
Mm-hmm.
The hotel didn't have Wi-Fi?
It did, just wasn't very good. And yeah, after having long days of walking and traveling, I'm gonna pass the fuck out.
I guess take an edible and go to sleep, right?
I didn't have any edibles. I didn't bring with me.
How unfortunate.
Well, they had vending machines with pre-rolls of joints.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, for like $6.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so those were nice.
Yeah, something.
Those are nice to look like. There's a couple of sex shops around like almost every corner.
A couple around every corner.
Some of them were open 24 hours.
Oh, I would have were they like near the hotel room where you could have like looked outside and seen it?
No. I had to walk like.
I would have been like chilling, bro. I would have had like a beer from like the corner store. Just
no, I had nothing like that. The only thing I didn't do
fun.
Was the Acropolis from my bedroom window.
That's cool too.
Yeah, that was great. And taking stuff back I wasn't supposed to.
Yeah. So I saw you took some rocks.
That's marble from the Temple of Zeus.
Marble from the Temple of Zeus. Holy balls.
Yeah, there was on the ground and no one was looking. So I was like, I'm tying my shoe.
Now Zeus is gonna come from the grave, bro, and be like, why did you take
No, if he's gonna come from the grave, he's gonna fuck me. Because Zeus is a horny bastard. Well,
don't tempt you with a good time, eh?
Yeah, but I don't want to turn into a fucking animal when he does it, like he does for other things.
Oh, you want to turn to you want to be a fucking an
No,
animal.
I don't want him to be a fucking horse when he's coming at me from behind.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, I don't want that shit. No. Okay. I'm good. But yeah, took a shit ton of pictures.
I just literally when you said I don't want him to be a horse from behind, I just literally pictured JoJo. Oh my god.
Yeah, that. Whole horse, sure, but not an actual horse.
Whole horse. That's the Ingo Boingo song fucking plays while you're getting rammed by a fucking horse cock. Jesus Christ.
No. Please, no.
Ingo Boingo.
Oh god, no, that'd be the worst experience ever. All right, we're moving on from this.
Anyway.
For most, again, where he lost. God damn, I hate you.
Oh shit.
All right. Anyway, we're basically talking about almost all of the seasons that have ended, especially the ones that carried over from the fall.
Indeed.
So a lot of that.
I gotta remember what the fuck. It's been so long.
With what?
You mentioned the one that carried over from the fall, aka 86.
We also got the Mushoku Tensei OVA to talk about, as well as the Jujutsu Kaisen movie.
Yes. Oh my god. Yeah, we do have a lot.
We do. That's why I said there's not nothing newsworthy.
Ready for a 3-hour bender, guys? We know we're not.
We're not. We're gonna try our normal 2.5 hours. Since there's no news, we can just get to it.
Fuck the news.
Yeah, fuck them. It's like unless it's Will Smith smacking Chris Rock, I don't want to hear him. Aren't you glad we're back, folks?
Aren't you glad?
All right. Let's just get to the movie first.
Let's just put it in, bro. Just put it in. Let's go.
Let's just put our meat on the table.
Just put the meat on the table, bro.
All right. Look at it. It's 0. Jujutsu Kaisen 0.
Yeah. Oh, it's like we're high, but we're not.
I wish.
I would not be able to do this shit fucking high. Let me tell you.
I almost took it up before we got in the air.
Oh, did you? Okay.
No, I thought about it, but it had to be good because otherwise I would pass out and we would not be doing this. And then we have like a 4 to 5 hour show next week.
Ah, Jesus Christ. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm free tomorrow, but I'm not trying to do shit tomorrow.
I'm not. All right. We're going to talk about this first. The Jujutsu Kaisen movie
was fucking amazing.
Yes, we were going to get to it. Is a prequel to the series itself. So if you are new to it, you haven't seen the show, you go definitely watch the movie first and you'll be just fine. And yeah, this was fucking stupendous.
Wait, stupendous?
Not WrestleMania stupendous.
I was just about to say, I was like, wait, did you just make a Vince reference?
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that with our 2 fucking days.
It's stupendous, pal.
Yeah, you. Okay,
Cody Rhodes.
Shut up. We were originally going to watch this the same time, but I had to wait an extra day because my friends were not free.
I mean, it doesn't matter because we fucking were recording it like 2 weeks after we fucking saw it.
Exactly. Yes, it's fresh in our minds, fresh in our boners.
Fresh in your boners. Oh,
yes.
Okay. I'm soft as shit right now. I'm the one with the girl in the fucking room with me.
Yeah, well, that tells you something.
I'm done.
You're done, Pat. You're done.
She's definitely aiming the fucking the Nerf gun at you, bro.
That's fine. But yeah, it doesn't follow Yuji like you originally thought. It's a Utah. Anybody know what his dead childhood friend Rika.
Rika was fucking great. I felt so bad.
Yeah, she was great. It was not how I expected it to go.
Not at all.
Yeah, because I didn't figure like there would be a couple all day. I thought she was just someone that was just possessing him. No, they were childhood friends as they were both ill in the hospital. And when they were younger, it was like, hey, this is an engagement ring. They got proposed early. Only in Japan, folks.
Only in Japan will you.
And what happens?
Will you be engaged at the age of like 6? Carcoon.
Yeah, but she didn't get isekai.
Nope, she did not.
But no, because of this, she was dead. But Yuda's like, hey, save her, all this. She's a curse. It's all his fault. But Gojo is the one that seeks him out because, Yuda's getting bullied in school. He has this curse behind him. His stand of power. We're not doing a recap of this because this was 2 hours. We're not doing that. We're doing the small little.
Long story short, Yuji is ridiculously OP. We saw Gojo.
Yes, he has the power. Sorry, Rika has the power of these curses.
Yeah, Rika's a special grade, which therefore makes Yuji a special grade. And we see Gojo, who's also special grade, and Gojo is sexy as always.
Oh yeah, but he doesn't have a special his little headband. It's just wrapped up in tape.
Yeah, it's just tape.
Yeah, and we focus on Toge, Maki, and Panda.
Yes, as freshmen. They're freshmen.
Yeah, they're vital to the story, folks. It's not Yuji and the others.
Shake.
Oh well, no. I know. Toge was great in this.
Shake.
Shake.
I don't know any other words. I just remember shake.
But because that's mostly like his okay or whatever.
Yeah.
We basically just seeing more of their powers flesh out while Yuta's trying to coexist with Rika in a fight-in standpoint. So just letting her
run amok.
Hey, fight his battles.
Basically, he starts to basically try and draw her power out, be able to use it more. He's able to enchant a katana and use it to disperse of curses, and that's pretty wicked as well. So, I mean, we're not doing the movie justice by this explanation. It's fucking bonkers, especially the final battle.
We don't want to give away all the secrets. There's amazing. Something you have to see for yourself.
Toto. Ooh, I pop for Toto.
Oh, yeah. That's for that little cameo. He wants that Christmas special.
Yes,
but now he's busy fighting.
He does. I wonder if it had Jennifer Lawrence in it.
Let's see. But we also had Geto Suguru.
Yes.
The main villain.
I have so many questions with that.
What's your question?
I can't because it's a spoiler.
Right. And I can't say it because that is also a spoiler.
Fuck, bro.
Yeah, but it's basically he's the Magneto to Gojo's Charles Xavier.
Yeah, clearly. It's just, why is he in season 1 at the end of 0? If that makes sense.
I cannot tell you that.
God.
That's
goddamn 4 to 7.
That's the spoiler for the next.
For season 2?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, like it's like a yes but no, but not really.
Will we see Yuji in Yuta in season 2?
No, but I will say you will see him.
Well, I'm obviously we'll see him.
He comes back in the manga.
Yeah, but that's spoiler. Not spoiler, I'm sorry, that after credit. There is an after credit, folks.
Yeah.
Does that take place later on, or does that take place while? Because I mean, Gojo, I think, still has his white wrap, so that happens.
Yeah. So it's still before. That. It's still before that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yuta's doing his anime training arc.
I'm like literally thinking like, yo, I can't wait for season 2. We're gonna see Yuta. He's gonna save Yuji from probably getting eaten by Tsukina during one of the fucking things.
None of that.
Good. Well, I mean, that's good, but I don't know. That's what I was thinking in my head.
None of that happens.
Yeah.
But the soundtrack is fucking phenomenal too.
Yes, the music was fucking incredible.
Like it fit, especially with the fight scenes. And holy
the fight
shit,
scenes were incredible. Even the somber scenes were very fucking well done with the music. You definitely, and that's one thing I recognized when I was putting in my seasonal reviews that I've been posting on my anime Instagram, AI_anime24 for those who want to check it out. Cheap plug. But that's one thing that I've been putting in there. Like, one of the best things about when you watch an anime that has good music is obviously you listen to the literal aspect of the music, but one of the things that you should pay attention to is how does the music alter the story? Because at the end of the day, when you watch anime, you're watching it for the story. Like anything you watch it for story. And one of the things that helps push the story along is always the magnitude of which the music presents the moment. So, that up tempo during a fight scene, the somber depression of a piano or a violin during a really sad moment, things of that nature that help elevates that particular sequence. And Jujutsu Kaisen did a fantastic job throughout the entire movie of that, from the opening to the ending to the fight scenes. It was all really, really, really crisp, really, really well composed.
We also definitely got Katis with Gojo in action. Like, he didn't have much.
Yeah, but goddamn, was it fucking incredible.
Yeah, and no, it was just more about again, Geto.
Here's a spoiler: he fought with one eye.
Yeah. One eye. But yeah, like I said, it was mostly about Geto's fights and his stuff, his origins, his powers.
Yes.
And he just destroyed the freshmen.
Oh yeah, fucking raped them.
Like even Panda's like stuffing came out.
Like just straight Zeus's horsecock in fucking ass.
Yeah, man. He did.
It was bad.
And then Yuta was holding his own, and Suguru's fine at the end of the day.
My only critique, and I mentioned this in my review as well, my only critique is the story is very rushed. And I get you can only tell so much story within 2 hours, but you literally go from like high school kid that murdered his fucking bullies to his first week. Okay, that's good sequencing. Then it jumps to 3 months. Okay.
Yeah, then
it jumps to like I think 9 months, and then it jumps to fucking a year. By the end of the thing, you're at a year. So like you literally these leaps and bounds that Yuta makes are all incredible, you know, when you look at the relative time frame. But the principle of the relative time frame being presented to us was the only thing I mentioned that was like, I wish they would have slowed it down somewhat. That probably would have made it a 3-hour movie, but goddamn, for this would have been fucking worth it.
You probably could have had like 20.
Yeah, you know, you could have added a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? A little bit more of a buffer.
Or condense some of the stuff that took a while.
Yeah, because you know, at the end of the day, like he made these leaps and bounds, and we see in some respect early on the trials and tribulations that he and the other freshmen go through in order to fucking make themselves better. But I think there should have been more of that. Because, you know, for example, when we watch the anime and you see Yuji from zero to hero, and you see in between that the steps that he took in order to get to those stages. And I don't think they did that well with Yuta. It was fine, but it wasn't really like brilliantly executed. And that's my only true gripe with the movie as a whole.
Yeah, and we see him like fully come out, like have his shell is like near the end. It's like a little too late.
Yeah.
But no, on that little complaint, this is still great.
I gave it a 5. I liked it more than Demon Slayer.
You know what? Yeah, because you got more character wise.
Yes, I did get more character wise.
Yeah, and just those couple of fight scenes with again, Sugar is fucking OP as well. He's like Gojo, but he takes curses and he eats the curses and he has those powers.
If you want to take a Demon Slayer equivalent, think of Tanjiro facing Akaza, the equivalent of that, which we'll get in season 4, but of Demon Slayer.
Yeah,
but that's for 2024, 2025, something like
that. Whenever.
Should
be, well, how they're going, yeah, should be. Also, animation for this is also excellent.
You know, all right, there's a second complaint, and it's not a complaint. It's just it's a noticeable observation, and that is that, you know, for a movie, you expect the animation to be over the top brilliant, and I don't think it was over the top brilliant. It was about the same quality. It was enhanced for a movie, which was fine, but it was approximately the same quality that you would see in the normal anime, which is still fantastic. Yeah. But I expected a little bit more. Like you got that a little bit at the beginning when you see the cherry blossoms, the sakura trees, but throughout the movie, like there are parts where it could have been done a little bit better.
Yeah, but
for me, it was just like slightly
I feel like it didn't need it.
It didn't matter. It didn't matter. That's why I said. That's why I'm not saying that it's a complaint or I have an issue with it. It's a small.
Is it something you expect? Because Demon Slayer did something like this.
Yeah, because Demon Slayer was just fucking nuts with the animation, and it continued throughout that season through the red light district arc, entertainment district arc. So that was my only other observation. So one complaint or one issue and one, you know, critique observation.
But no, this is definitely a 5. It's definitely a banger.
Yes, I would give it more than a 5 if I could. I would break my Meltzer scale. I would break the Keki scale for this movie if I could.
Alrighty, should we get to our solo stuff?
Yeah, we got a while to go, buddy. So go on ahead.
Yeah, because we're gonna have to do 1 or 2 episodes. Oh, I'm gonna have to do 2 episodes for most of mine because
I'm gonna try and condense a lot of it.
I'm gonna condense ones like Doll's Frontline, a Solo, Lee Dale.
Boruto's easy to condense. Princess Connect should be easy to connect. Strongest Sage is kind of easy. Love of Kills will be a little bit long. And 86, I only have 1 episode to talk about 86, but that was stupendous. And then we'll get to everything we're done after.
All right, yeah. I'll go with the weakest first.
Go ahead, buddy.
All right, Doll's Frontline. Nothing really. I'm sorry. Like I felt so disappointed with those last couple of episodes. Like again, we just get more reminded of that the defense team is basically if they're dead, they're dead because there's no backup of them. You can't make a backup.
Fuck them girls.
Special. Yeah, exactly. Fuck them girls. And now AR-15 is doing her solo shit because, you know, she had the fucking Zervengus virus or whatever I don't even know what the Zangvis. That's the enemy. Yeah, and there that way because basically like they were able to track her. They were able to track the enemy. That way, that's why they knew where they were, all the bases. Even though the enemies are like stormtroopers, they can't shoot for shit.
There's so many anime, by the way, that I've seen where fucking they're worse than fucking stormtroopers. It's fucking horrendous.
It's like, do we ever hit anything with these?
Because plot.
Yeah, because plot. But yeah, we go to the finale of it. She's called AR-15. She goes to the main base while M4A1 is in a little mental dream crisis, whatever you call it. And basically, AR-15's plan is she's going to blow up the main building and take herself with.
Suicide.
Yeah, it's a suicide mission.
Jisatsu.
Yeah, because they're like, you're not going to get M4A1. I'm going to go blow you up, blow you all of the kingdom come. And yeah, all the enemy reinforcements are there. They start shooting AR-15.
But you shouldn't have said that given the fact that they were girls and you said, I'm going to blow them, the kingdom come.
No,
that wasn't a good example.
No. So while that's going on, M4A1 eventually steps out of it. Satmod, M16, they're all trying to look for AR-15, but they got there too late because the building blew up.
She blew them, the kingdom come.
No, they're fine. She's dead.
She got the big load.
She blew herself. She blew herself
And got the load at the end.
Yeah, and that's where it ends.
That's a hell of a finale.
Yeah, it's like season 2.
Maybe.
I'll pass, but
well, it's so tough for me to say that because there's so many anime where it's like, it was mediocre. But if there's a season 2, I'm gonna watch it. I feel because like I have to like follow up on it. I have to.
I feel
if I started, I'm gonna finish it.
Yeah, but I feel like I'm good here.
I mean, could be.
I gave it a 2.5 out of 5. Yeah, it was just
That's unfortunate.
I'm fine. I can leave it instead of the whole take a leave. I can leave it. I'm good.
That's fair, sir.
Wash my hands.
That's fair, sir. Make sure you
wash my hands of the
good
whole
amount
thing.
of soap. Yeah. Good amount of soap, sir.
All right. Moving on.
Moving on up.
All right, Land of Lido.
It's generic anime. Generic isekai. Sorry, this is the generic.
It's a generic cozy isekai. That took me a little to realize it's a cozy anime. That's why
warm and fuzzy. It's a warm and fuzzy.
Yeah, because you figure when it's a fantasy, you get a little bit more
dark.
A little bit, no, get a little action.
Also, if it's like some fantasy, there's a tad of darkness, or it could be a significant amount.
I know, like
you think
it wouldn't have worked dark. I just figured it's like like some type of battle because it's the generic. Oh, it's the demon or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah, but no, it was at the end of the day, it was just a cozy fantasy. All it was, and you know what? Yeah, sure. I did it fine. I didn't love it, but wasn't offensive.
No.
So, but yeah, the last 2 episodes was basically Kana going back to the village where she was in the first episode, and like she wants to settle down in that village. So because the child she kidnapped or adopted,
she kidnapped or adopted.
I call it surprise adoption.
I'm gonna use that. That's so good.
Luca, the one that was her family's gone. She found her in this abandoned zombie type game, and she's doing it with the 2 cat butlers, Roxilius and Roxy. The first cat butler that was a boy. That was a reverse trap.
Doing it trap.
No. I thought it was a trap, but I thought but it's a guy. Like, okay. Just a female.
It's not our favorite trap, Yotsuya.
No. It's just a very feminine male. With a female voice actor. That's it.
What do they call that again? The fem male.
Femboy.
Femboy. There we go. Fem kitten.
Yeah. Fem kitten. Fem neko. Yeah, they're both nekos. These siblings hate each other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Roxine keeps belittling Roxilius any chance she gets. I got to the point where Luca's like, the little kid's telling them to stop fighting.
Oh.
And Kata's like, if you guys fight, I'll kill you.
Do it.
I like Kata. I do. And she has that temper. But to where it's funny. And she cannot handle her alcohol. No, because like 1 drink of wine, she's done. And she keeps vowing to never drink again after every hangover.
I mean, that sounds like
and she drinks every time.
That sounds like a lot of motherfuckers. Truth be told.
That sounds like a lot of motherfuckers. Yeah, and I didn't know the girl that did the OP was the one that does Violet Evergarden.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I didn't know it was true. Oh shit.
Oh my god. I love Violet Evergarden. Anytime I hear Violet Evergarden, I'm like, oh,
yeah.
My heart gets warm.
Yeah, but basically the last episode was they finally built the house. That was it. And yeah, like maybe another adventure waits if there's a season 2.
Maybe. Will it await for Matt?
I'll think about it. This one is I might.
Okay.
If I have nothing going on, if that season is short, yeah, sure. 3 out of 5.
Okay.
That's
cool.
It was again. It was fine. Just not. I wouldn't go on my way to see it again.
Sure.
All right, moving on. Ranking of Kings. My first one that ended in fall from 21 to now. Fucking incredible. Loved every bit of it. Daida wakes up. He sees Miranjo. Like face to face. Well, sorry, no, not yet. Sorry, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. The demon that ate her soul. And the demon is there. And you find out that Miranjo befriended the demon when it was a kid. And it looks like that now because every time it grants a wish, it gets more deformed.
Interesting.
So basically, people abusing wishes is why he's like, it's now this giant, grotesque demon.
Why he looks like Gyutaro.
Yes, pretty much. Yeah. And Despa was about to use a wish because Despa's plan was to use it to have Oaken's immortality taken away. So he could get rid of that curse. But he gets cut off by Daida, saying he wishes Miranjo was back to life. And yeah, the demon actually grants that wish before she gets tortured by the depths of hell by this creature. Yeah, and yeah, because before all that, you see Bozy showing Daida, like, this is why I took care of her. This is why I care for her. Like, everything they done together. And now Daida wants to do the same thing for her. And that led to the point where Daida asked Miranjo to marry him.
Oh,
she eventually does say yes. And then Queen Helen is like, all right, no, there's the bitch. Let's go kill her. Daida's like, no, you ain't killing her because I married her. And she's like,
Nani?
She's like, after everything? But while all is going on, Daida apologized to Despa about using the wish on himself and not for what he wanted. And he's like, shit. Well, and so he had to tell his brother that the king of the underworld that he fails. And he's like, it's fine. Just bring back a shit ton of gold and silver, and we're good.
Money.
And Despa was shocked, like, why? And then you find out why when the guy Desser, the king who he was talking to. Remember before when I said that he got the invite to be the number 1 king?
Yeah,
he took it.
Oh,
so he has access to all the treasure. All the special items. So yeah, now he has a way to bring his brother back to life.
Cool.
To bring his brother out of immortality.
That's nice.
Well, that's why he didn't care. As he took that offer despite the wish failing. That was the second to last episode. Now we're on to the finale. Pick up where we left off. Healing eventually accepts Miranjo. Like, all right, fine, I forgive you.
Oh.
And then Daida apologized to everyone about like how he acted, his behavior lately. And then fucking not Dorsha.
I thought you were gonna say Doi. I thought you were saying Doi. I was like, Doi?
No. Domus, the swordsman. He says, if you really want to apologize, get rid of the throne and give it to Boji. And he says, I was going to anyway. And there were shots. And then Daida appreciates Boji because he saw what happened. Why is everything like his like his strength and the ability to hear and talk. And he says, I want you to be king. And then they all bow to him like they serve King Boji. And then Kage's in the background. He's happy. And now he's like, well, I guess he doesn't need me anymore. So he quietly goes away. Doesn't tell Boji. Nothing. It's like, oh. Yeah, and then eventually led to the point where Boji was looking for him. Because no one knew he left. So he's finally a king and all this, but he wants his friend there. But they can't find him. Nowhere to be seen. And eventually he goes to do his kingly duties. He does it, and he seems to start getting upset. And Heelan tells everyone to leave the room, and she starts talking to him. You don't know what they talk about.
Mm.
On the other side, Kage is like, "Oh, I'm gonna start my new life. No more stealing, no more burgling. I'm gonna be an honest guy."
Mm.
And he starts looking for a job. But the fact that he's a shadow clansman, they don't want him. It's basically prejudice.
Mm-hmm.
So all that's going on. He's like, what gives? Fuck all you guys.
Fuck him.
He starts feeling bad. He starts missing Boji.
Oh.
And you see one of the snakes, the snakes from the kingdom.
Heavy.
What?
Heavy.
Heavy.
I mean, snake in Japanese, heavy.
Okay. Yeah, they eventually see where Kage is. Like, okay, maybe like report back, hey, this is where I found your friend, basically. And yeah, it ends with Boji finding Kage. And yeah, he wants to he reunites with him, like does his own thing. You find out Boji got rid of stepped down and gave the crown back to Daida.
Mm-hmm.
So Boji's goal now is to make his own kingdom. Where people like Kage and others, like they're outcast, they're accepted. So a new adventure awaits for Boji and Kage.
But I thought that was the end of the show.
We could get a season 2.
Is there more manga?
I haven't read the manga, so I can't tell you.
Or is it a light novel?
I think it's still going. Hold on.
Vamos a ver.
Rank of the Kings Mango. Are you still going? Tell me, you fucker.
I don't know.
Yeah, still going.
Nice.
Alrighty.
Maybe you'll get a season 2. How about that?
I think we will. Yeah,
that would make Angel very, very happy.
It leads to it, but if this is the end, I'm also content. Like, I think it just ended the right way. Like, it leaves it open, but yeah, he got what he wanted. He did everything he did.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's only downhill from here.
Yeah, but no, I give it a 5 out of 5.
Oh, nice.
But it's not going to be in the awards because it's still fall.
Indeed. That's how I felt about 86.
Yeah, so unfortunately for them.
Sucks for you, bro.
All right, now Lupin the Third, Part 6.
Lupin, not loop off, Lupin.
Lupin.
I love how it's Lupin. It's really Lupin, but you say Lupin.
They say Lupin.
They say Lupin?
They call him Lupin.
Lupin.
Yeah, for the English people.
Is it Lupin?
Yeah, we picked up where we left off. But yeah, Zenigata stopped Lupin in the group, like pulled over because he has a message to tell him because one of his colleagues got stabbed by Matea. And Lupin's like, she would never do that. She's a sweet person. And it's like, all right, I have to tell you this last message. And he said a certain phrase, and it sent Lupin into like a little mind frenzy. I'm gonna explain that in a bit because this is something that the mother planned out. That type of thing. So because of this, he's like a little mind controlled by his mother, and he starts to go find her. Like he knows where he is. Matea tries to kill him. Like, nope. Sorry, she doesn't want to kill. She doesn't want to kill him. She wants Lupin to take her to the mother so she can kill the mother.
Fuck you, Mom.
Because she was also manipulated by this mother. And then eventually, they're trying to Jigen, Goemon, they're trying to find him. So is Zenigata. Even Fujiko eventually runs into him. She even kisses him. And is like, nope, still like a little mine. Like, no, fuck you.
Yep.
So eventually he gets to Tomo, which is the mother, this house. While they were trying to find him, but Zenigata eventually found her. So did everyone else. But for like this particular part, it's more of, Matea gets there and shoots Lupin. He falls out the window.
Bang.
Bang. And basically, then Tomo explains what happened. Because basically, how he got brainwashed was from a poem she said to him, that Tomo said to him. And all the girls that were in this arc, they said certain lines of that poem. And the last line of it was what triggered it when Zenigata said that final message. So that's what triggered everything for him. Yeah, she like basically manipulated Lupin, saying that she was his actual biological mother, not just a mother that, it's like, oh, I'm your mother, basically, taking you in, training you to be an assassin and a thief. Lupin eventually comes back up. He has a bullet wound. He's like, oh, well, yeah, I can't die like that. Fuck you.
Because plot.
You're gonna try better than that. Mateo and Lupin eventually fight for a bit. And then you see Jigen, Goemon, Fujiko. And they find out, Lupin was throwing up an act again. Because he eventually snapped out of it before he showed up. And basically hearing about all his crew members, like inner thoughts of Jigen, Goemon, Fujiko, and all that. That's what made him snap out of it. So he's playing it along just to trick Tomo. Because inside what he really wanted in the vault was basically his actual proof that if she's the mother or not. But he's like, yeah, you're not. You're really not. And he just shoots her right there, right in the chest. And then Mateo gets pissed off because she wanted to kill her. So she goes in the frenzy and starts stabbing her right while she's dead. Like, she's dead. She's dead, Jim. She's dead. Calm down.
Jesus, overkill.
Yeah, basically. So now you see Lupin and Mateo fighting on the roof. Like, all right, we're going to sell this. All right, we're going to take this outside. Yeah, Lupin beats the shit out of her, even with the bullet wound. She got a couple of hits in, but nope. And
these hands are rated E for everybody.
Nah, well, this is mature rated anime.
Fucking those hands rated E for everybody.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. What's going on? He tells her just turn yourself in type of thing, lead your own life. You don't need you don't need this anymore. So eventually, she gets arrested by the police. And Zeddy goes there, like, I'm not gonna catch you this time. I'm here for her. You're next though.
Not today, coppers.
No. The cop said that to him. Like, I'm not gonna catch you this time. It's because of all this. I'm arresting her, but next time I see you, you're dead. But yeah, eventually Lupin goes up to the safe for the thing. The safe's empty. So now he's in a fret, where the fuck did she put it? This little thing. And he's overthinking. And it's and then Deacon's like, you lose because you overthink too much. I told you that before. That's why you did the whole loser makes dinner. You always lose. Or we play poker. All that shit. Eventually he calms down, and it was in Tomo's arm jacket. Under his sleeve. He reads it. Actually, no, he doesn't read it. He just opens it, closes it, and just throws it. I don't need to know. I'm good. That type of thing. And then and they just burn the place down. And that's it. That's how it ends up. There's a little thing. They're all hanging out in their hideout, and the cops are outside. So Lupin and the gang just escape like normal. And it's over. This was fun. I enjoyed this.
Until Lupin the Third, Part 7.
Yep. In a few years.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, 4 out of 5. I'm happy with it.
All right.
God, there's a lot.
I know, motherfucker. You got fucking 4 more to go.
I got Slow Loop, Akebi,
Vanitas.
That's it. I got 3.
You got 3. God damn it.
3 more to go. So, all right, let's go with Slow Loop.
I'm gonna make my bed real quick while you do that. I'm just kidding.
Oh, fuck you. Okay.
More fishing. Next.
No. It's there, but there's more. There was more this time. Fuck you.
Oh, really? There's actual story besides fishing? I mean, this is the easiest anime you have, bro. 2 girls.
It's a group of girls. There's 3 girls, but the one doesn't really fish. She just owns a fish shop.
3 girls and 1 fish.
Shut up. Shut up, damn
it.
Anyway, everyone's on a camping trip. Koi's upset. And you find out why. It's because in the flashback, when before Hiyori's mom decided to remarry, Koi's like, oh yeah, I heard your mom's getting married. Congratulations. And she didn't know that. So she's like, shit.
Damn.
I told you without your mom's telling you. I thought you
Let's pretend you didn't hear that, right?
Yeah, that. Yeah, so Koi's been feeling a little guilty about that.
Yeah, her mom didn't tell her.
She was her no, because she thought the fact she told it first, like it ruined it type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And like it ruined her perception of her mom type of.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and yeah, because since Koi and Hiyori have been friends since they were kids.
Aww.
But yeah, eventually they talked about it, and Hiyori like near the end, and Hiyori's like, I actually should be thanking you because I was able to actually move forward.
Mm-hmm.
I want to move forward,
and
I've been doing that. Yeah, so like, yeah, like I if you didn't tell me, I probably would have been cool with my mom remarrying. But yeah, I had to really talk about like, yeah, like we're fine. It's like, I was like, I thank you. Like, this is why you're my best friend type of ordeal. And of course, Koharu is trying to over here in the background. He's driving like a little bitch. But no, I thought it was a nice, cute moment. I love Koi. She's probably one of my favorites. She might be my favorite supporter. I would definitely give it to her as a contender.
Who did I give first?
Well, they're gonna have to wait till next week, pal.
Yeah, you're right, pal.
Yeah, we're gonna wait.
God damn it, pal. God damn it, pal.
The finale. It's
Koharu. Sorry, I looked at who the fuck I gave the support to. Yeah. Laugh.
Finale is Koharu's birthday, and he always trying to figure out what to give her as a gift. I was like, and Koi suggests a scrapbook, but eventually Koi comes over and it's all three of them hanging out because Koi made fishing lines when she was a kid, and then he already mentioned like, Koharu saw their photo albums. Like, hey, why were you both crying? Like, well, when she did a good job making the fishing line, I sucked. I cried, and then Koi decided to cry because she felt bad for me. It's like a little funny here and there. For your own birthday, Koharu makes food for people.
I mean,
you figured like they would do it for you for your birthday.
I mean, bro, it's like, when you have a kid and like it's their birthday, so you think like they should fucking have like they should bring them cake. No, I'm gonna bring cake for everybody. Should be the opposite.
Yeah, it was that type of thing.
Motherfucker should bring you cake.
Yeah. They do the birthday celebration. They all talk. They have nice fun and laughs. And you see Koharu pouting. And then he was like, well, I was like, nothing. And he's like, no, because you didn't give me a gift, you son of a bitch. I'm not upset, but I was like, what the fuck, man?
That's how I felt about my fucking sister. I went and got everybody family, they didn't give me shit. And I was like, what was the last time I'm giving fucking everybody fucking
gift? Then he was like, no, I got you a gift. I felt bad because they gave you awesome gifts. I got you this shitty gifts. Eventually she shows her, it's an empty scrapbook. And she wants to make memories with her sister-in-law. So,
well, too bad I want to make memories with you, bitch.
No, she's like, when you give someone this, you're supposed to have photos in it, right? I was like, fuck you. But he always like that. Yeah, would you like to do big memories with me? Like have photos with me? It's like, yeah, sure, definitely. And that's where it ends. Again, this is a cozy slice of life. That was like, I knew what I was getting into. It worked,
right?
And I had a good time.
Right.
3.5.
Okay.
3.5 out of 5.
Nice.
Is there season 2? Sure.
Nice.
But I doubt it.
Nicer.
Nice. Alrighty, Vanitas Part 2.
Thank God.
Okay. Holy fuck. This went from like kind of happy in the beginning of the season to this turned to fucking depressed.
Oh, I'm sure Angel had to fucking cum himself when he started, I'm sure.
I know he hasn't talked about it, so I can't tell you.
No, he hasn't talked about it yet?
No, I try like, hey, have you seen this? No, it's great. And I don't get a response.
This will be your favorite fucking thing ever because it's depressing and sad. Like you fucking depressing cunt.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, sorry, bastard. Sorry, I can't say that word.
All right. Let me continue. Holy fuck. There's a lot to unpack here.
My bad.
Yeah, because you want to make this quick?
Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
Shut the fuck. All right. Basically, Vanitas eventually gets there with Mikhail. No, he sees him like, hey, why are you sucking my brother's blood? Fuck you. But yeah, it was all because of the flashback, and you get more of the flashback of Vanitas and Mikhail as kids being experimented on. Being injected with like this blue stuff. And then Mikhail's like begging Vanitas to like help him, even though they were both being experiments. But Vanitas said, fuck it, take every experiment, leave him alone, type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
The stranger, like he's not his real brother. It's just people that got experimented on in this lab.
Mm-hmm.
And Vanitas started to feel guilty.
Mm-hmm.
And then you find out what the doctor was injecting them with was blood of the vampire of the blue moon.
Mm-hmm.
Just so they could use the Book of Vanitas.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, okay, well, we're gonna inject you with more of it just so you can use these books.
Mm-hmm.
Then a big explosion happened.
Bang!
The lab is destroyed. People retreated. The doctors retreated or assumed to be dead. And you see this giant creature, and it's actually the actual vampire of the blue moon. Those are his books.
Mm-hmm.
And then he sees Vanitas and Mikhail like, oh shit, you guys got my blood.
I've got your blood, yes.
It's like, that's not cool, guys.
It's not cool, bro.
Who said you could have it?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not gonna suck it out. Fuck it. He eventually takes Mikhail in. Like I'll take care of you. And then eventually Vanitas joins.
Mm-hmm.
They go to his house. Vanitas collapses, and it's like, oh, because of fever. He's got a fever.
Mm.
And while he's in this fever, he actually opens up for once.
Mm-hmm.
Not his actual name, not his real name. You still don't know his real name.
Mm-hmm.
And then, what happened to his parents and all that? Like, they were killed by vampires. That's why Vanitas wants to kill vampires.
Mm-hmm.
That was how he was before he wanted to save vampires. And then he eventually gets better, and he find out the fact that Vanitas and Mikhail got injected with all that blue blood. They're destined to die. Like, their bodies can't handle it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happened to Mikhail.
Mm-hmm.
And before you find out what happened after, that's when Vanitas showed up and made No stop drinking his blood.
Mm-hmm.
And then, because basically that vampire was considered their dad. And Mikhail wanted to know why Vanitas killed the dad.
Mm-hmm.
You still don't know why yet.
Mm-hmm.
And while it's going on, Noah's like, I have to suck your blood because I need to know what happened. Also because Domi's going to die.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's still up on that roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
Like she could jump at any minute.
Mm-hmm.
And Vanitas says, I don't give a fuck.
Mm.
I told you if you suck my blood, I was going to kill you. I don't care who dies on any of this.
Mm-hmm.
That was that. So there's less of Vanitas and no fighting in these past 2 episodes.
Mm.
Actual legit fighting.
Mm.
And if Vanitas is like, oh, if she dies, you'll be free.
Mm-hmm.
Type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Vanitas easily dodges most of No's stuff. And shoots No in the eye.
Damn.
Again, like and he's like injected stuff with some liquid. That's where it's like, he's like his hypnotic state.
Mm-hmm.
Like he doesn't care. All Vanitas wants to do now is kill. He wants to kill, nothing else. Fuck everyone else. They could die in a fire for all I give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then then they eventually fight. No talks about how much he really cares for Dominique. That's why wants all this to happen. He also wants Vanitas to snap out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny eventually shows up, tries to save Dominique, but Mikhail's in the way, and Mikhail's fighting Johnny on top of the roller coaster, while Dominique is having this interstellar crisis to herself, while she's in this trance. And then she had a flashback of, do you prefer if I was my brother instead of me? That's why I have the short hair. Do you wish I was Lewis? And then Noah's like, no, and wish you grew your hair back.
Mm-hmm.
That type of thing. Like, he's like, okay, I know he's dead, but I want you. Like, I want to be there for you.
Mm-hmm.
And while Noah was fighting Vanitas, is like, oh, and he said, like, what Vanitas means by free means alone. Like, be alone. Because Vanitas is alone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he refers to be alone.
That's why he doesn't want to be in love. He's like, ew, this is love.
Not love, like it's anyone.
Yeah, but you can correlate that because you're like, ew, this is love, and he's like disgusted by it. But like you just said,
because he doesn't get why anyone would fall for him.
Oh, I thought it was more because he wanted to be.
No, because it's more like he hates himself type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like despite looking at people, he just truly hates himself.
Mm-hmm.
And then to get why people are around him.
Mm-hmm.
And before the big blow from Vanitas to No said to him, like, I'll make sure you're never free again, aka alone.
Mm-hmm.
And then Vanitas like freaked out, and as you see the boom collapse, and you hear the of a knife, and that's where the episode ends until we talk about the finale next week. It's like shit. What happens next? Fucking great.
Done.
It was great. I can't wait. I'm not giving it a grade till next week.
Fair enough, sir. Fair enough.
All right. Now my last finale. Akebi sailor uniform.
Oh Jesus, I forgot about Akebi.
Yeah, fucking
wow, I just realized this is the first time you fucking have not finished your finale, your seasonals, your personal seasonals with Vanitas. You normally close with Vanitas.
Well, yeah, because usually that was like my favorite one, but this is the actual finale, and this was just fucking gorgeous.
I saw the picture you posted in the fucking group, and it was fucking absolutely gorgeous. I was like, is that dancer?
No, it's not dancer.
Dancer.
Yeah. Well, the penultimate is the girls are trying to find a place to practice volleyball because they can't do it in their school. So she asked her old elementary school if she could do it there. And yeah, that elementary school, it's like they only take in one student.
Only take in one student?
Yeah, like one at a time, basically. Or like if there's a room, it's just them. So you see her talking to the old teacher, and then you hear them both crying over the phone because the teacher's happy that Akebi's making friends. She was always by herself. So I thought that was a little sweet moment.
Oh.
And then her little sister wants to come to the volleyball practice. And she's like, we're going to practice. Like, are you sure you want to come? But she's like, I don't want to be alone. I'm always alone at that school. And that's how Akebi was. So that's why he's like, all right, you can come because you're adorable and all that. Yeah. And then it's just all of them just practicing volleyball and all that until the school festival. And that's how that part ended. Then we went to the finale. It goes to after the festival.
So they just skipped the entire festival.
But we see it in the sequence that I'm going to talk about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Basically it's Komichi, she's doing a dance. And Erica, her friend, she's doing the piano version of it. As that was her little thing. She didn't show up to the practice for the volleyball because she was practicing playing the piano because she wants to do this for her. And yeah, she was having a hard time doing it because there's like the certain little part, and like the tempo goes really fast. It's like fuck, she keeps fucking up. So yeah, she wants to get it right for this. And yeah, because eventually she wasn't going to be a part of it, but until she eventually asked her, and then she said, "Yeah, I want you to be a part of it." So yeah, gorgeous dresses from both of them. Erica plays the piano. Komichi starts dancing to the music, and you get little flashbacks of what happened in the festival. They lost a couple, but they won most of the games, like the volleyball, the swimming. And yeah, you got all those flashbacks while the piano's playing. The piano part of it is just simply gorgeous. It was beautiful. And then before like the song was over, there was a violin part. So what does Erica do? She gets up, grabs her violin, and starts playing the violin. And yeah, it's just it's like if you watched this whole show and like you loved it, and it's like it's a little too right. I think like everything's like coming together. Of her like being alone, like not having friends to having all these friends. Yeah, I guess a little too right with the music in the background, how it's animated. Yeah, everything about it, and I just like fuck, I clapped after it was done. Oh, like bravo. It was like I was there in that crowd hearing this, hearing and seeing this. And once all that was over, got the ovation. Komichi thanked Erica. He's like, I hope we get to do more of these often. And he's like, oh, no, don't worry, we will. Oh. And yeah, they're all next day. They go next day. They had a little party. They're all in class. Class starts like normal.
No ass slap at all?
No, not from the sister. Kyle
didn't do it. Damn it. I was hoping for one final ass slap.
No ass slap. No hidden fetishes.
No hidden fetishes.
We didn't get into that. 4.5 out of 5.
4.5 out of 5. Let me ask you. So before this finale, would you have given it a 4.5 out of 5?
It would have been a solid 4.
Solid 4. Okay, so it earned a half a star just off the finale alone.
That's from the last 2 episodes.
Oh, that's nice.
Like on an emotional level, and then just the quality of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's worth it. It's definitely a favorite for the season.
Sounds like it might be your surprise.
We'll see. We got more to talk about. I'm done. Your turn.
Jesus, after a fucking hour.
Yeah.
Jordan, this guy.
Well, no, it was a half hour because we talked about Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yes, we did. All right. Let's see if I can fucking condense this really quick. Strongest sage with the weakest crest. Long story short, Maddie faces the giant demon. He breaks out of his little curse. He actually, for the first time in the season, gets into trouble, and he needs to basically get this special sword. He said that this sword is his crowning achievement in his past life, and it's currently in the castle. And so he sends Luri and Alma to go get the sword. And they run into trouble with demons, but of course, to save the day is Second Academy, and they come save them. They eventually yeet the sword to Maddie, but Maddie, he turns around to get the sword, and the demon's like, shouldn't have turned around on me, and he stabs him in the heart. And you see him just fucking falling, and everyone's like, no, my God, Maddie's dead. No, this is our fucking, our savior is dead. And then he still has the sword in his hand, and a magical mystical light comes out, and he's alive, and comes to find out in order to activate the sword's power, you have to die. And so he dies, activates the power, so he revives, and he's infused with all of this magic, because throughout the battle he's been saving his magic to try and save the kingdom, because this demon is so, right now the kingdom has a barrier over, a demon barrier, but he's so powerful he could break the demon barrier with one good attack. So he's been trying to save the kingdom and the barrier, but he's been draining his magical fucking power as a result. And throughout the battle as well, he's thinking like, well, shit hits the fan, I can always reincarnate, and fucking he'll be weaker by the time I reincarnate, but everybody else will fucking be fucked because then I'll die. But he's like, it's an option, but he doesn't have to do that because of the magical infusion. So he gets the magical infusion, all is well. He kills the fucking demon really quick, and the demon leaves him with a parting message that says, hey, I'm not the only chaos level demon, and the next chaos level demon will be sure to kill you. And he dissipates. So then all's well that ends well. They end up getting their like little rewards, whatever the case is. And then the second half of the story, it's kind of cute. Basically, we see him and Lori. They're trying to pick out they're trying to get like, I guess, some type of like special medal for Alma as part of her reward. And so Lori is looking at this gem and was like, oh, she thinks it's really pretty. And Alma's like, hey, you should buy that for her. And she's like, oh, I'll buy it for you. And he's like, no. And then Alma's like, no, you should do something else, and whispers in his ear what he should do. So that night, it's just Lori and Maddie, and she calls him out, or he calls her out rather, to the back of like the backyard of where the hell they're staying at, and was like, hey, I have a gift for you. You need to close your eyes. So she closes her eyes, and he puts the gift around her. Open your eyes. And it's the pendant that she was looking at, with the caveat is he made the pendant himself, because of course he's OP as fuck, so he can just do whatever the fuck he wants really quick. But he makes the pendant himself. It's quite adorable. She's happy. They adore it. All is well. And then the season ends with the revelation that this like magical puppet is using human life force in order to attack the kingdom. So when Maddie runs a little analysis on it using his magical powers, he realized, oh, this is being done by a demon, because the demon is basically slowly but surely sucking everyone's life force in the neighboring kingdom out. And so they go on a mystical journey to try and go to the next kingdom to try and defeat the next demon. And so that's how the episode ends. Season ends. I expect there to be a season 2. I'll watch it. It's very generic. I mean, like I wrote in my review, it's a very generic anime on the OP like genre. Like, like the guy's OP, he fucking has no problems. He defeats, everything in his sight. He makes everyone else around him OP just like him. It's fun, it's fine, it's okay. If you want to see an OP type magical show, you're better off going with a Misfit Demon Academy or an Overlord. Those are better for various reasons. All in all, though, it's pretty solid. I gave this a 3 out of 5. Cool. Moving on. Love of Kill was, what, I should save Love of Kill because I gave this one a higher grade than I gave Princess Connect, but I'll go off on Princess Connect because I've been talking about Princess Connect for so long. So Love of Kill is very fine. We basically finally get the full story of what happened with Chateau and Ryangha and the third guy who is Ryangha. And so long story short, basically they travel to They travel to try and get away from the city to try and save Chateau. They end up in like a remote cabin, and they're trying to spend the night at the cabin. Ryangha and the other fellow get into a fight, and then the other fellow, he disappears. Where he runs, as he disappears, he runs into some thugs, and they beat the shit out of him. They're about to kill him. Meanwhile, as this is happening, what's it called? Ryangha tries to go after the other fellow, and he can't reach him. He already left, but he drops his gun in the cabin. Chateau at this point is taking a nap, and Chateau wakes up, finds she's alone in a random place. She gets scared. She sees the gun, picks up the gun, and runs into like a closet. And so Ryangha goes in, notices she's in the closet, and is like, hey, it's all good. Like, I want you to trust me. I'm here for you. I want to make sure that you're safe. He opens the closet. Chateau is panicking, gets scared, shoots him in the neck, and a bunch of blood everywhere. Shit is going crazy. And she's just panicking, like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. She keeps just repeating, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And as this story is being told in the penultimate episode, number 11, it pans back to real life, where Ryangha is basically holding Chateau, and Chateau is remembering these same reactions, and she just falls into the same trap. Whenever she panics, she shuts down, and she just keeps repeating, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Gomen nasai, gomen nasai, gomen nasai, gomen nasai. That's all she repeats until she finally calms down. And so in the season finale, we get the complete rest of the story. After that story, we see Ryangha defend himself and try and save Ryangha and the girl. So he stabs the thug in the eye with a sharp what's it called, stick, like a sharp branch, stabs him in the eye. That way he can grab his bat and bashes the dude's skull in with the bat. And he limps over. He's trying to limp back to the cabin, trying to limp back to the trap, trying to limp back to the cabin. A passerby sees him, trying like, hey, let me take you to the hospital. Like, you okay? Let me take you to the hospital. And he's like, I'm good. Shut up. Whatever. He just keeps walking. But the dude ends up calling the cops. He gets back to the cabin, and he sees like there's a bunch of blood everywhere, but there's no guy. And he's like, oh man, I wonder what happened. Oh well, I guess I don't know. And he passes out from exhaustion, and because he's hurt. Meanwhile, as he was walking back to the cabin, Ryangha, still bleeding out from his neck, grabs Chateau, leads her to the car, and they leave. And the whole time she's like, gomen nasai, gomen nasai, gomen nasai, gomen nasai. And eventually she passes out, and we find out, basically, we see Ryangha wake up, the new Ryangha, the fellow. He wakes up in the hospital, and the detective is there to tell him exactly what happened. Come to find out, Ryangha drove for an entire day while bleeding out of his neck and died in the car due to blood loss. And that's where this story begins, when you get the initial story of seeing the dead body and then seeing Chateau there. And so Chateau wakes up from dreaming this, sees Ryangha there, the current Ryangha, and just is crying and begins to bawl and cry. And Ryangha goes to hold her, and Chateau is like, you knew all of this all along. Why did you lie to me? Like, why is your name? And there's a sense of relief, because one of the things the detective tells Ryangha in the hospital is like, forget all this happened. Forget a man named Ryangha existed. There's no need, to worry yourself with that. But because of the fact that this Ryangha was the only kind fellow who ever tried to befriend Ryangha, he ended up taking his name. And we find out earlier in that episode that he never really had an official name. He would basically go from place to place, and he would pick up different names, like Ju Win, Yun Yun, just random fucking names. And he's like, and this time when when Ryangha's dead and he moves on to himself, he calls himself Ryangha, and it actually sticks. He said one of the things he mentions is that he's like, none of the names that I called myself or that I took, they never fit, but Ryangha, it ended up fitting. And so that's where they're at. They end up having to, come up with some agreement, whatever. And so, Chateau begins to soften up. She's like, I don't really know anything about him, but, I want to be on a professional level with him. But there's clearly a lot deeper things involved. She's starting very, very, very slowly to fall for Ryangha. And so, they have a conversation about, working together, paying, whatever. She's like, how much money, would I need to pay you? And he's like, I don't want money. And she's like, huh, what do you want? He's like, well, think about it. And obviously, the initial thought is like, oh, he wants to fuck her, but it's a lot deeper than that. He just wants to actually like protect her and be with her and things of that nature. But she's too stupid to realize that. So she's like, what does he want? And like that, she starts thinking about like, what could he possibly want? And then they start thinking about like, oh, the episode basically ends with her thinking about that. And then like her, like trying to like surmise, like, trying to think about everything that's happened. And she starts thinking about all the moments where they've been together and where she saved him, he saved her. And he finally comes out because they're in like this hideout. And so she's hanging out on the roof. He comes up off the roof and was like, oh, this is where you are. I was looking for you. And she's like super embarrassed because she was just daydreaming about him the whole time. So it's kind of cute. And they have a brief conversation, and the season ends when a helicopter begins to pass by. And of course, because they're on the run and they're, have this gang over there, they're very, cautious. And so they both pull their guns out on each other, and then they go opposite directions to make sure that the coast is clear, to end the season. And before that season ends, we see basically the boss, Chateau's boss, listened to her and went to go visit Chateau's mother, make sure everything is well. Meanwhile, Jim is in the office and he's being held at gunpoint by the fucking by the guy with the piercings, who we see helped Ryong-ha escape and is now on the look to try and find him so we can kill him. So there's definitely a lot of emphasis and basis for a season 2, and I definitely would look forward to it. One of the things that helped me with this show is the fact that it is such a unique presentation, where we see shows like A Dress Up Darling and other shows that are rom-coms and high school romance and things of that. It's a dramatic term because A, they're adults, B, it's real life because they're in Tokyo, they're in real life places with real life situations. There are people that are assassins out there, I'm sure there are definitely bounty hunters that are out there. And so these scenarios, even though they're fiction, they're not within the realm of impossibility. And again, it's a unique take because of the fact that there's so much death, so much shooting, death, violence in this show, but yet it's a romance. It's a very unique show from that standpoint, but I like the way that it was presented as a whole. And I liked the even though their dynamic was kind of a bit much sometimes it wasn't as bad, and so I dug it. So I gave it a 4 out of 5. A solid 4 out of 5. Definitely would look forward to a season 2. Definitely want to see that whenever that would happen. Moving on. Princess Connect. Good God, this story is so beautifully fucking animated, but is so atrociously told. I've said it before, and it drives me fucking bonkers. Because if you want to see a really, 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 really well animated fight, this is one of, honest to God, if Demon Slayer wasn't this season, this would be animation of the season, because goddamn is it fucking incredible. It is beautifully animated. The last 2 episodes of the season, especially because there's so many different fights that happen, so many different moves, so many different pieces, the zoom in on people's eyes with the tears and the concern on the bystanders' faces, the animation on the villains' faces. It looks like a Disney animation. You see maniacal laughing, you see concern, you see nonchalant, arrogance, so many different facials, so many facial expressions that are animated so crisply. It's so beautiful. And yet the story is just so goddamn convoluted because I can't fucking really tell you, much about the story. By definition, there's a lot of reveals with that. And what I've gathered is this. Basically, there are 7 super deities in this story called the 7 Crowns. And so Yuki, Pecorine, and the Gourmet Guild are facing basically the evil crown. And she has her own crown powers, but she can't use them because of some shit that happened before that hasn't been explained, that happened with Yuki. So she's borrowing the other 2 crowns' powers, who we don't really know from, like, we see one fairly frequently and we don't know she's a crown until like the final 3 or 4 episodes. But we see another one who's shown up fairly frequently in the show, and we get a tiny bit of background, but we don't get any background. And that's one of the biggest things. This show loves to introduce these characters. They're all feminine characters. They like to introduce these characters, and they don't give us any real backstory. They don't give us any real reason to give a fuck about these characters. They're like just these cute little girls. They have these cute little powers. They help them in the episode and they save the day. And what? And then they come back. They all come back. They literally, every single fucking character through the first 2 seasons that you see comes back to help fucking Justiania-sama, which is fucking Pecorine. She basically announces, by the way, throughout this, instead of like she was hiding it from everybody that she's the real princess, she announced it to everybody when she tries to save the kingdom, and everybody gets behind her. She starts to struggle, and then all the characters from the entire season come over to help her with like, no, like, of course that's convenient that they come fucking help her, right? And fuck, it just annoys me. But the rest of the story throughout is pretty well laid out when you can get to those points. Like, basically, with the help of everybody, they're able to defeat the Kaiser. The Kaiser is the evil crown. The I think, I forget, like an omnipotent Kaiser, I think is her name. For now, we'll just call her Kaiser. They're able to defeat the Kaiser. The Kaiser, wanting to not succumb to the Gourmet Guild, lets herself become eaten by the shadows, which basically gives her soul up to the shadows in order to defeat them. And so, of course, Carol, who is basically like we find out basically Carol is what's called the Princess Knight, which is basically like the first person underneath the crown. And we find out Yuki is the Princess Knight of one of the other crowns who's been captive, and I forget their names because there's so many goddamn women and there's no fucking explanation. I can't pick up a fucking name. None of them stuck. And it's tough because we watch fucking anime. We watch a lot of anime. Shows that we're reviewing, there's about 16, 17, 18 different shows that we're reviewing. On my analyst site, I've watched 246 anime, and I can tell you a decent amount of characters from 246 different characters. I can't tell you a fucking character's name and the side character name in Princess Connect, and that's a goddamn shame, because there are some of these side characters that are really, really, really cool, and they serve purposes, but it drives me fucking mad, dude. Basically, at the end of the story, Carol wants to save the soul of the Kaiser, and they're like, you can't, it's too late, she's fucked, let's just defeat it, move on. And Carol's like, no, we got to do it. So then the Carol wants to do it, Pecorine wants to do it. If Pecorine wants to do it, Yuki wants to do it. So they end up getting eaten by the giant shadow that's absorbed the Kaiser. And they go into some shadow realm, and they're able to try and pick up the fucking Kaiser. And they get a nice moment between Carol and the Kaiser, this like moments of understanding and clarity and things of that nature. And Yuki uses his power, which we find out is an unstable power because of all the times he's been inside the Redive. And for those who don't know who the Redive is, that's the whole premise of the show, but you don't know about the premise of the show because it's not even really fully detailed. We get to pick up these details. So like, you see what I'm saying, right? I'm giving you so many different pieces, and if I were to coherently fucking put them in a story, it wouldn't be that fucking bad. But because I'm giving you random pieces at random times, like the way the show is, it doesn't feel attractive at all. So basically, they do a nice rewind moment because Yuki uses his power. They're able to save the Kaiser, but he tried to use his power. Let me back up. He tried to use his power. He ends up getting stabbed, I think, by one of the shadows in the heart, and he's dying. And so basically, he ends up going to like this mythical like realm, right, where fucking the Redive is. And we see basically this is the scenario in which he was there before, where he chose to fucking basically go in the Redive and restart his life without his memories. And he comes out with like looking like a special needs kid. He doesn't remember shit, doesn't even remember how to talk or communicate or nothing. So, but this time in the same exact scenario with the same exact wound to his heart, he chooses a different path, and he says, I don't want to give up. And so they're like, are you sure, this will change your life? And he's like, I don't want to give up on these bonds that I've made with his guild, with the girls. And so he comes back, he gets his magical powers. They're able to save the Kaiser. Everything is well, all's well that ends well. And, there's more to the story, but I can't really properly describe it to you. I didn't do it justice describing the story just now, but at the same time, there's so many different pieces that I can't fucking follow. The only reason why I gave this show a 3 out of 5 is because the incredible animation, the incredible fight scene, and the pieces of the story that I did understand are well done. It's just, I can't ever give this more than a 3 because the way the story is actually told is fucking terrible. It's just goddamn terrible, dude. And like the game is really popular. The Princess Connect is based off of the game of the same name.
Yeah.
And so it's a good game. And we see so like whenever I go on Crunchyroll news, I see like new character introduced in the game, new character introduced in the game. It's like you got 55 fucking billion characters. They're all pretty. They all have some magical power. But in what way does that translate to the actual story? I don't know. Fuck if I know. So it irks the shit out of me. But if you want to see a fantastically animated show with really, really good fight scenes, I would definitely recommend Princess Connect because it is fucking beautiful. It is a beautiful show. The music is nice as well. You know, it helps. It's not like, oh my God, spectacular, but it's nice. It's a good show. It's just, it could be so much better. This could, if it was told properly, this could be a 4.5 show, and it's just a 3. So that irks me, but it is what it is. Boruto's been fun. Basically we learn that Ikada is actually part of the Funato clan. And we find out basically like he doesn't want to like, be part of the clan because of the fact that they're very evil, whatever the case, but he's also the most powerful person of the clan because he's got the power of the sea dragon. And we see a flashback of when he was a child, his fucking arrogant father, or not his arrogant, his like, super like asshole, like evil father throws him into a tsunami basically. And he fucking comes out alive. But the reason why he comes out alive unscathed is because of the fact that he's got the sea dragon power, that he's able to basically like, traverse under the sea. It's one of the reasons why his hands get webbed when he goes in and he gets serious, things of that nature. So we find that power out. And basically the last couple episodes basically deal with the fight between the Funato and Team 7 and the Ninja Swordsman as well. And very well done. Very, very cool, very solid, and
very nice, very evil.
Very nice, very evil. Yes, Danhausen, indeed, fucking guy. Anyway, I'm trying to cut it short because there's, we have so much to talk about, but it's really well done. We're in another good stretch of Boruto where it's solid storytelling, solid action, solid animation. Things are well, and I definitely enjoyed it. So basically the story where it's at right now is the Boruto, Team 7, and the Ninja Swordsman and Kagura are able to hold off the Funato. They critically wound Ikada's sister, whom he adores. She's the only member of the Funato clan who he adores. He doesn't really like his family, doesn't like his father, doesn't like his brothers because they're all evil and assholes. But even though his sister is an asshole, they have a good relationship. And so they critically wound her, but she's able to escape with the help of like her subordinate. They're able to get Ikada onto the Funato ship because earlier in the episode, basically, the sister goes over, which her name is Saren. Saren meets with Ikada. They have like this fucking blowout argument, but basically said like, you need to come. You have the power that's going to help change this war. You need to come actually put in your worth as a member of the Funato. We're going to pick you up at night. Well, eventually they tell him what happened. He goes with them. He sees his sister all fucked up and he says, oh, who did this? And they're like, oh, Kagura of the Mist. And the one other person that the subordinate is talking about is Boruto, but he doesn't know that yet. And basically, we see Ikada's eyes go wide, and he basically goes to his dark side at this point, and that's where the episode ends, with him going to his dark side to defend his mortally wounded, not mortally, but his critically injured sister. So that ought to be good. We'll get more of that on Sunday. Good shit. And then the final one I have, 86. It was beautiful.
Don't make it a half hour.
I'm not gonna make it a half hour. It was incredibly beautiful. Basically, the gang come home from their they go on leave. Basically, they come home during Christmas season. We see Ernst there, and he basically gives them gifts and things of that nature, and they end up spending time, whatever the case is. They end up spending time together. And they have like a longing for war, and Ernst knows that, and so he's like, all right, I'm gonna basically send you guys off to defend former Legion territory. And from there we see the former Legion basically, we see the downfall. We finally see what happened that night of the attack. Basically, without Lena, the Empire would have been utterly destroyed. Everybody would have been killed. But because of that, the Empire is still destroyed. But what's it called? She's able to save a lot of the citizens. The 86 all rally around her, and she becomes a focal point of the military. Despite still, losing her rank earlier in the season, she's still a major focal point. And so basically, the what's it called? The Federacy is going to be helping you restore some of the land that the Legion took on that night that they attacked the Federacy. I'm sorry, not the Federacy, the Republic. And so they send the 86 like, you're going to go out there and you're going to be under a foreign commander, and they tell Lena like, hey, you're going to get some of our Federacy soldiers, they're going to help you along, you're going to be in command of them. Like, okay. And so the episode kind of basically goes where you see two sides of the story. You see Shin's side of the story, where he's accepting now with the fact that he's no longer alone. Like, he's got people that are going to support him. He doesn't have to think about the past. He can let go of the past while trying to build on the future and try and, end this war. And we see Lena's side where, she's trying to restore the Federacy, but she still longs for the 86, whom she adores and respects. And we also see the ugliness of the reality between 86 and the Republic, where even though these people their houses, their homes, their wealth, everything is gone, but they're alive. But they see the 86 there helping them, and they're disgusted. They're racist to these people, despite the fact that they're in this circumstance. And even with the Federacy, because the Federacy are in essence what 86 look like. They're not what the Republic is, and they're even fucking assholes and racist to the Republic. I'm sorry, to the Federacy, and the Federacy is just like, what the fuck is up with these people? And it's actually quite disgusting when you really look at it. But nevertheless, there's a quote there that says, how can you condemn people that don't know that their normal day is a sin? And it's a very, very true point when you think about that. How can you punish somebody who doesn't know any better? That's what they were raised. That's what they were taught. That's literally what, they were brought up under. And the fact that you completely flip that narrative is very shocking. And, I understand that from that perspective. Even today, when you look at today's issues with racism, when you see somebody who grew up around that, there's no excuse for it, but it's certainly more understandable than somebody that just has a random harboring for those feelings. But in any case, we basically see them as they prepare for this side. At the end of the day, the season ends really quite beautifully. Lena pays respects at the Juggernaut site that they made for the 86 when they first entered the Federacy. She pays her respects there. And she turns around and they're like, oh, we want you to meet your new team. And we see all the 86 there, and they're all smiling and they're all kind of happy to see Lena. Lena's oblivious. Lena doesn't know what they look like because she never actually met them. She just heard their voices. And she introduces herself like, I'm Captain Vladimir Lena, whatever the case, Vladimir Melis. And I'm going to be your commander from now on. And Shin is there and it was like, this isn't the first time we've met. And she's like, huh? And she's like, allow me to introduce myself. I'm the former Spearhead Squadron Lieutenant. And now I'm the lieutenant of the, Federacy, whatever. Like, my name is Shine Nozen. And Lena's eyes open, and she is in shock. And she begins to bawl. She begins to cry. And what's it called? Shin is like, oh, what's it called? Was like, oh, it's been a while, Handler One. And as soon as she hears Handler One, she bawls. And then everybody's kind of like, happy to see her. They chuck a little bit, and she starts naming them all out. Every single fucking 86. She remember their names. She fucking yelled them out, and they're all like, yep, 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 yep. And it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful reunion that after 24 episodes, basically, I think it's 23, after 23 episodes or 25 episodes, something like that, 20 something episodes, after 20 something episodes, the thought of them being dead, they're alive and they're reunited, and it's beautiful. And we get more of a thought that there'll probably be a season 2, and I cannot wait. It was a beautifully done, especially with the music. They have one of my favorite songs, one of my favorite in anime songs. I gotta send it to you, but it's absolutely fucking beautiful the way that it was done. Animation was beautiful. Yeah, I can't express how beautiful this story, this finale was. It was absolutely incredible. And I gave the show a 5 out of 5. I've gushed about it many times on many podcasts already, so there's not much more for me to gush. As we've mentioned before, this show came out originally, I believe, in fall last season, so it's not going to get any rewards for me this season. But I can't tell you enough how much I enjoyed that finale, and I can't wait to see more. And as I've tried to sell it to you guys before, if you want to see a show that's got incredible mech action, incredible music, incredible animation, and tells a very deep story about oppression, racism, and overcoming that, as well as trying to defend the world in essence from a cyber enemy, basically, that you don't see but is very much technologically embedded in the world. It's I can't recommend this enough. It's fantastic. For me, I always say it's like Code Geass mech without Lelouch, and Angel actually said it better. He said it's more like Gundam, and I can see that. I can see that comparison as well. Regardless, either way, whether it's Gundam, whether it's Code Geass, those are two fantastic shows that are highly critically acclaimed in the anime community, and they're very similar. Also, if you are in the military, it may be a little bit hurtful to see, but at the same time, it does a fantastic job of addressing a lot of issues that soldiers have, whether they're on the battlefield or whether they're not in the battlefield. That feeling of, like, I should have done more, that feeling of loneliness, that feeling of nothing, that feeling of death and murder, PTSD, wanting to do more, overextending yourself, the feeling of not, of embracing death. So many different points of views and points of understanding that I think a soldier that's been in battle and been through some shit would be able to recognize and comprehend on a different level than somebody like me who's never been in war. But even I'm able to see those points, and it would do a great job for you to be able to see a story of the depths of despair that someone like Shin feels, and the level of hatred that he has to endure in order to prevail. Fantastic. Can't recommend it enough. So yeah, that's my spiel, Jack.
All righty, very good. Would this have moved up in your yearly ranks if this came out in time?
Would it have moved up my yearly ranks? Let me go back to my yearly ranks and see. Vamos a ver. Where did I put 86? Damn. No, I don't think so, because where I put it, I gave 86. It's number 7 on my list for 2021. The other 6 ahead of it are Uramichi. Hilarious. Maybe it would have gotten you know what? I would have put it over Uramichi. That's fine. 6. Okay. It would have gone up past Uramichi. Slime was my 5. I'm not going to put it above Slime. ReZero, definitely not going to put it above ReZero. Horimiya, I adored Horimiya. Jobless, you know how we feel about Jobless, and Fruits Baskets. You know how I feel about Fruits Baskets. Yeah. So, no. Most it would have done is it probably would have gotten past Uramichi at 6. So 1. There. 1 slot.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
All right. For the ones we're doing together, we're gonna talk about the ones that are not done yet first.
I completely forgot about those. Truthfully, I feel like I don't want to talk about them, considering we're going to be going over them next week. But it's like, all right, I guess we can.
I mean, we could wait on them if you want.
We definitely have to go over Requiem.
We are, because we're gonna talk about Requiem.
Requiem and Shenmue.
Yeah,
it's up to you whether you want to talk about 24th Road or Realist Hero. We can, I guess.
We'll wait till week.
You want to wait till next week, guys? For those who are listening to us in real time, depending on, it's funny, we say we'll wait till next week, knowing that these episodes won't get to them for another month. But
as you hear the sounds of our voices,
as you hear this at the moments of this recording, as the day of this recording, as these sounds of our voices reach your ears, we are currently at the end of the spring season. There are only 2 more episodes. Winter season, sorry, correct. We're only 2 episodes left in terms of what we're watching. 24th Ward will debut next Wednesday. It's currently Thursday evening. It will debut next Wednesday. Realist Hero ends this Saturday coming up. And then Requiem and Shenmue are continuals. Shenmue will end fairly fast. It'll end in about the first month of the spring season. Requiem is another 12 episodes, which I'm looking forward to. Can't wait to discuss that momentarily. But so what the plan is, we're gonna go over all of our penultimates and finales for everything that we watched together, and then
we will keep them brief. We promise.
We'll try to keep them as brief as we can. Yep. And then for Tokyo 24th and for Realist, because we're gonna go over those seasonals and penultimates, let's just do those next week, because next week's show, for if you're listening right now, the next show that you hear, I should say, will be the reviews for Tokyo 24th, Realist Hero. We'll go over the last episodes of Requiem and Shenmue from that week, and then we're gonna go into our seasonal awards. And then are we gonna do intros to spring, or are we gonna wait till another episode to go over intros to spring?
We're not gonna take a week off like we normally do for the awards.
Correct.
Because we usually catch up, but since we didn't, we're gonna do next week. We're gonna do the awards. And then the following week, everything should be aired, so we'll do our impressions then.
Correct. Okay, sounds good to me.
So we'll be fine. There's no week off this time.
There's no week off this time. Correct. There will be a couple weeks off though, because I'm going to New York and moving. So
yeah. So
that'll be
just that. But again, we usually take a week off for wait for everything to air. But
don't worry, we'll get 2 weeks off, guys, but it won't be this week or next week, or whenever you guys listen to these shows in a month.
Sometime it'll be sometime next month.
Sometime in June.
All right. Shenmue will do quick. Quick.
Go ahead.
But yeah, Rio is now learning about the Wuhans.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's got 2 of them.
Yes.
Which one? What were the 2 he's got?
G and Go, I think.
Forgot.
One starts with a G. One starts with a J. One of them is definitely G. One of them is definitely G.
Oh man, I forgot. Fuck. All right, moving on though.
Yeah, it's like G, J, I, and Goo. It might be Go or Goo, but it starts with a G. Or sorry, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. G is J, I. G or Go or Goo is G, U, G, O, G, O, H, something along those lines.
Yeah.
But basically, one of them means to continue practicing no matter what. The other one means, no, he's got 3 at this stage. He's got 3 because he's got one.
Yeah, this episode is the 4th one.
Okay, so we're gonna go over.
Sorry, 3rd one. It's the 3rd one.
Okay. Yeah.
So there's 4. There's 4 woos.
There's 4
where
woos.
He learns his 3rd one.
Yeah, he's got 4 woos. The 2 he currently has is always practice no matter what. The second one is never use your art as like
and don't use your full.
Don't basically don't show off your art unless you need to for like fighting purposes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, like you said, he gets his 3rd one.
We're gonna talk about that. But Yi, it's Yi.
Yi. Okay. You got the other one.
I forgot what that one was about. Like
the new one.
About seeing
the new one.
Yeah.
The new one. So he gets the 3rd one. The new one basically means do what's right no matter what at all times. So if you see, basically, it's basically the nice martial arts way of saying if you see something, do something, or if you see something, say something. That's basically what they're referencing in this.
Right. But yeah, how we got there is basically Rio had a job to basically dry off the books, like put them in the sun. And the housekeeper says, "Hey, you gotta be back by 3:00." Mm-hmm. He doesn't, because basically he almost bumps into the old woman who has these antique tea sets, and she's like, "Hey, fuck you! You almost knocked my shit over. So just because of this, you're gonna come with me, impatient little fucker." Mm-hmm. You young whippersnappers. But yeah, they drop it off at the tea shop. It's not ruined. It's like, oh yeah, it may not be worth much to people, but yeah, and for me, it's like it's worth a lot. And he sees how Hong Kong is, with basically people getting jumped and all that, and they're like, this is normal. But yeah, this led to Joy and Wong talking to Rio about the whole martial artist, and you find out, oh shit, I'm late, and she gets scolded by this housekeeper, and then he's just like, I got you all wrong, you're a piece of shit, and it's like, nope. And then she talks to the master, and she's like, well, she reminds me of you. Like, he reminds me of you, basically. Yeah. So, sound familiar? All right, but they go to the next day. Rio was practicing martial arts. Joy and Wong tell him that the apartments are, like, they know about the apartments with the martial arts master. And now the gang's there trying to kick her out. Mm-hmm. And yeah, you find out it's the old lady.
Oh, Basan.
Yeah, the sweet old lady. And then Rio fights them off, these yellow jackets. And yeah, she teaches him the yi.
Yee!
Yeehaw. And then the housekeeper's like,
motherfucker.
Yeah, and the housekeeper's like, well, I'm sorry.
Gomen.
Yeah, I don't want to, but yeah, I guess I am.
God damn it.
Yep. And that's where we are with that. Good stuff. Moving on.
Indeed.
Okay. Let us go with Platinum Man. Holy fuck.
Dude, this show blew my fucking mind. This finale blew my fucking mind. Holy hell. Holy hell. Marjorie, you got to see Platinum Men's End. Holy fuck.
Well, we're going to talk about it, so we'll see what happens.
Talking to my friend that's here. Sorry. For the viewers out there, I have a female friend over tonight.
Yes. We have a god.
We do.
And it's Shuji.
The emo.
Here's the emo kid. And how did we get there? Yeah. How did we get there? Was from Yoanda being saved by an angel again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, why? Like, this happened twice. And then Mirai's like, well, because humans and all this, well, fuck you. Then Yoanda's like, I agree. You guys can do whatever you want.
And you're totally skipping the fact that freaking what's her face? The angel.
Nase, yeah.
Nase.
Yeah, she went down a grade twice, like two grades.
Yeah, she basically
for saving Mirai.
She saved Mirai from a white arrow, and then she realized, oh, my power, I can touch people. Literally, I can. But because of that, she interfered with the process. She got downgraded to a special grade 2, and so he's like, oh, I just want my red arrow. He could take back his white arrow.
Because he could only keep one.
Yeah, and then basically they what's her face? The airheaded bitch.
Yuri?
Yeah, she fucking tricks Nakaumi into giving him the white arrow that fucking Yoneda gave him, and she got wings as well from I think from Saki, and she flies over and is basically about to kill Yoneda. She's like, die, bitch, and fucking shoots the arrow, and Yoneda's about to die, and Saki saves Yoneda, and everyone is
Nase does.
Nase.
And then she gets her ranking back.
Yeah, they're like, oh my god, you interfered again, you're gonna get fucking killed. But they're like, nope, you interfered for somebody else to save someone else because you thought it was the right thing.
Yeah,
you get your ranking back.
Yeah, and then Mirai says, I don't need any of those. And then Yoenda is like freaking out. Is like, you saved me. Like, this is twice I've been saved. And yeah, this changed his whole outlook on life a bit.
It does, completely.
And it led to the point where he just says, you guys should do whatever you want with the whole creature thing.
Creature.
Yes, creature. And then he tells Shuji, well, if you do it, then you better keep tabs with me.
Yep.
And then he says, yeah, and then ta-da, he's gone. And then he's like,
yeah, he wipes everybody. He wipes everyone's memory, and
no, there's an option. They have the option.
Yeah. No, I'm saying he wipes everybody's memory.
Yuri's the only one that took it.
Yeah, everybody else's memory, and was like, oh, what's it called? They're like, hey, well, I'm giving you the option. Do you want to remember or do you not? And Yoneda's like, well, I need to fucking have you tell me the truth, so of course I'm gonna remember. And Saki and Mirai are like, yeah, we'd like to remember. And then Yuri's the only one like, oh, you said you'd take care of me. And Yoneda's like, yeah, I'll take care of you. And so he wipes Yuri's memory, and they're like, where are we? What are you doing? And then fucking Yoneda's like, you're my assistant. You're my assistant. Okay. And
pretty much
all's well that ends well.
And he becomes a pillarman.
Yes, in the finale. First off, before we continue on with the finale, I was so goddamn aggravated at how fucking shitty, how atrociously shitty the animation was in the final episode. It was retarded. It was awful. It was grade school animation. It was like high school, like fucking virgin learning how to fucking animate. It was so bad. So goddamn bad.
Yeah, it was not good.
It was dirt. That's literally what I felt like looking at the fucking show. Derp. Literally.
Alrighty. Moving on though. Shuji Fort merges with God. He still has a little bit of himself in there, but it's like, oh, eventually you're gonna merge and it's gonna be God.
Yeah, and also there's a little bit of God in him as well. So basically, whenever Shuji has questions,
he can talk to him.
He could talk to the old God. And
before he loses conscience.
Well, yeah, before. Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't say when. But we do a time skip. 6 years.
6 years.
Yep. Mirai and Saki are together.
Married.
Mirai wants to have a job so they could have their dream of open up a flower shop.
Yep. They get married.
Yeah, Mirai goes to the parents for the blessing.
They get married. Huh?
Yep. Yeah, Mirai talks to Saki's parents about a blessing.
Saki gets horny. And Mirai's like, no, we can't.
Yeah, Yuenda keeps the red arrow.
Yes, he gets to keep his red arrow, and he studies the red arrow.
And he uses Yuri as a test dummy.
Yep, and Yuri takes care of Yuri, and whatever happens, happens.
Yep, and then we go back to Shuji. Like he wants to talk. He talks to God. Like, well, how can Nase touch people?
Yeah,
and he's like, I don't. He doesn't know. Like he probably thought some of his DNA. Or
whatever. No, that's not what he said. He said, if even God was created. He said, even God was created. Even I was created by something. I don't know what I was created by, but I was created by something. As I was scouring the universe, I happened to come across Nase. She was not an angel. She was just some thing,
amoeba,
an amoeba, but it had life. It had her essence, and I decided to make her my very first angel.
Yeah, so this proved that he's not like God, just a creature type.
God is just a creature. Wow, first off, mindfuck. Crazy.
Yeah, and
first
then
mindfuck of the episode.
After that, Shuji says, I wonder how everyone's doing.
Yep.
And he sees all these suicidal people, and this overwhelms him.
And he's like, I didn't care really so much about them, but now I want to help them. But I can't help them because I can't do anything.
Yeah, and then the God says, like, you're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to. And then Nakumi is like, well, what's the purpose of God if I'm not supposed to help them?
And he doesn't answer. He doesn't really give him an answer.
He doesn't give him an answer. And so Nakumi takes it upon himself to fucking nuke the universe, to nuke existence.
Yeah, he tells the angel to go away, the one that guards him.
Yes.
Like go bring this person.
Yeah. Okay. And then the angels start to disappear. And his attendant realizes the one time that I left him to his own devices, and it shoots back to Nakumi, he white arrowed himself. God committed suicide.
Yeah, and because of this, you see the angels starting to disappear. Everyone's like basically being raptured.
Yes.
Sasaki and Mirai embrace each other one last time.
Everyone gets raptured.
And Yuenda's like, what does this mean? Like, is he right? Type of thing.
The creature's gone. He recognizes. He's like, the creature's gone. Creature's raptured.
And then Yuenda disappears.
Yep, he gets raptured.
Everyone's gone.
Sasaki and Mirai are one of the very last people, and they get.
No, I think Yuenda was after them.
What were they?
Yeah, he was a little after.
Well, long story short, there's no more humans on Earth. There's no more angels. There's no more nothing. God and the universe and existence is done. Ceased to exist now. Ceases. Also,
that water in heaven's got to be infinite, because they said they take all the dead bodies and preserve them. That's got to be like infinite. That's bottomless.
Probably. I mean, it's space. It's space.
Yeah. But that was how we ended. This definitely picked up, but
mindfuck.
I was not
Shocked.
fantastic.
I was literally shocked, dude. Like, I stood on my couch, or not stood, but I sat on my couch, and I was just like, what the fuck did I just watch? Crazy. And at the end of the day, the long story short is that freaking in order to find the truth, they had to destroy everything.
What do you give it?
Solid 4.
I give it a 3.5.
You gave it a 3.5. Wow, I'm surprised.
I loved a lot of it, but I don't think it was enough to make it great.
I mean, there's levels of greatness. That's my
okay. Yuenda was my favorite of the second part.
Yeah, Yoneda was great, and the principle of the second half was fucking tremendous. The story of the second half was tremendous. The drama of the first half was really good. The only thing that didn't make it a 5 is A, the animation for that fucking season finale, because it was fucking atrocious, and then B was Mirai being a fucking bitch for
the first half,
for the first half of the season. You know what I'm saying? That's what made it bad. Otherwise than that, it was good. And it slowly got better and better and better and better and better. And it hit a crescendo at the fucking on episode 23. And in episode 24, if you overlook the shitty animation, episode 24 was fine. And then it ended with such a dramatic yet definitive end.
Yeah, that gig you would not expect.
You would not have expected it at all. I certainly didn't. If a show leaves you mind fucked at the end of it and shocked, that's a fucking good show.
Yeah.
That's a good show. Really good show. If it can give you that effect, especially if you've seen a bunch of anime where you can kind of expect a lot of things. Going into that, did you expect that, Matt?
No.
Nope. Nor did I. Nor did fucking I. 4 out of 5.
All right. Moving on.
Moving on.
All right. I'll let you take over Requiem.
God, Requiem. I'm never good at describing it though. I'm never good at describing Requiem.
All right. We had the battle. We had the big battle.
Yes.
White Rose and Red Rose.
Yes. The final battle.
And this was after Henry being captured.
Yes.
It's now the mother.
Yes.
What was her name?
Margaret.
Yes. It was now Margaret.
Margaret, and then Edward, the
Lancaster.
Edward of Lancaster, the son,
and Anne.
And Princess Anne.
Yeah. Margaret told Anne to basically make sure Edward doesn't fight.
Mm-hmm.
And led to she tells him, and he's like, "No, I want to fight. I have to fight."
Mm-hmm.
Gets knocked out, and knocks him out. Like, we already got your replacement.
Yep.
And we find out it was Anne. Later on,
it was Anne herself.
Yep. Yeah, he eventually wakes up and like tries to find him.
Yep.
And then Richard had his own idea of, again, tricking people, thinking that they were the Red Rose.
Right.
And like the battle's going on, and eventually the White Roses win.
Yes.
And then Margaret's captured.
Yes.
And you find out
everyone's captured, bro. Edward's captured, Margaret's captured,
I was saying,
Edward is captured.
I was saying, Richard chases who he thought was Edward.
Yeah.
That's where he found out it was Anne. And then Edward's right there.
Yeah.
I just put Richard in another mindfuck. Because again, these people he wanted to kill, like he fell for, were the enemy.
Yep. No, but you know what? No, you know what? Henry hadn't been caught yet. Henry did end up getting caught. And that's
he was caught.
That was was that the previous episode?
That was episode 10.
That he got caught.
Yeah.
And left Richard in a mindfuck.
Yeah, and then he got another one because
Because
now he knows about Edward.
Yeah, the episode started out and fucking he got shit faced. He was just kept getting shit faced because he was depressed.
Yeah. He tried to kill himself too.
And he was gonna kill himself before Catesby intervened and saved the day. No, not Catesby. Buckingham.
Yeah, Buckingham. Yeah.
Buckingham.
Yeah, and now he finds out about Edward. It's like, fuck.
Yep.
And then eventually led to him getting captured as well.
Yep.
And then Margaret pleads for like, kill me instead, like don't kill my son.
She starts like divulging the fucking grimy details of before that she starts divulging the grimy details of
how she killed the father of how she
Edward, killed Richard.
Edward of York.
Yeah, Richard. The original Richard, basically.
Yeah.
The grimy details, and basically fucking because of that, freaking Richard is like fucking she goes ape shit, slices fucking Edward in the heart in front of his mother.
Yeah, and Edward talks about, if I was gonna die, it may as well be by her hands, because
I love her.
Yeah.
And never got to tell her.
A tragedy.
Meanwhile, Margaret is beside herself and she's begging, kill me, please kill me, please kill me.
And like, nope, you're living with it.
Yeah, and fucking King what's his face?
Edward.
Is it King Edward?
Yep.
King Edward is like what's it called? He's like, nope, death would be too easy for you. You'll live your life knowing what has occurred here. Fucking savage. Savage.
And then there's a party.
Yeah. Oh, we forget that they capture Anne. We find out where she is later, and we'll get to that in a moment.
Yeah, we'll get to that soon. Yeah. But yeah, we get to the party. Yeah. They're celebrated. Edward is king.
Yes.
And you find out Henry's ill.
Yes, mentally ill.
Like he's not eating, talking.
He's mentally ill. He doesn't recognize people at all. Nothing.
And Richard, first the mother goes there. She hugs George and Edward, and Edward's like, "Hey, you gotta talk to Richard." And she's like, "No."
No, she's like, Richard, go hug your mother, and they hesitate, and fucking the
Yeah, the
mother's
mother
like,
doesn't
oh, we
want
have
to.
plenty of time for that later. As she looks upon her child with the fucking most evil of scorn.
Yeah,
Like,
and then Richard eventually goes to Henry
yep,
and he talks about how he wants to kill him, but the fact that he can't recognize him is what breaks his heart.
yep,
And they got to the point where he gets furious and just walks out.
yep.
I see Henry saying Richard softly to himself.
He recognizes her, but
Yeah.
as he recognizes her, the mother shows up.
And she tells
Henry the
why
story of the
Richard's the
demon.
devil.
Yep.
And then we go to the next day. So Richard's in the room with Edward, and then Edward says, I need you to kill Henry.
Because of the fact that his mother fucking tipped them off to the fact that they're in love.
Yeah. So it's just like, just make it quick type of thing. Like, it has to be you. Can't have anyone else do it.
And I'm not going to wait for long. And so she goes.
Like it has to be done today.
He goes. She goes up to the tower.
Yeah.
Dressed as a woman.
Yeah. Richard reveals the actual self. Like, I'm neither a man nor a woman. Like, I'm both type of thing.
I got titties.
And Richard says, like, this is the only time I show anyone how I truly look.
Love me. And that really got me, bro. Like, I felt that so hard when Richardo was like, like, Henry, I'm giving you my secret. Please love me. Like that
while crying and all
while
that.
crying in his arms, looking at him in the face,
and
saying,
then Henry pushed him off, saying, "Go away, demon."
Yes, and fucking
and then
forsakes her, and keeps going and going and going, reiterating the same shit that his mother has told Richardo, and the same thing that his mother told Henry, and he keeps going and going and going and going, and fucking Richard, heartbroken, shattered, angry, distraught, stabs him over and over and over
Henry's
and
dead.
over and over and over, and Henry's dead. But wait, it gets so much better or worse.
Yeah. It depends. We see Anne as a common servant.
Yeah, she's
even
attendant.
to her, even like her sister belittles her.
Yeah, it was like, nope,
like,
I'm not Isabel, I'm your Grace.
Yeah, just all that shit. Holy cow.
I hated that. And we also see a scene with Elizabeth and Edward, and they talk about how, like, oh, poor Anne, we need to marry her off. But meanwhile, what's it called? Isabel and who's her husband? Somebody significant is her husband. George? Is it George or Edward?
I think it's George.
George. And basically say, like, hey, we need to keep Anne with us because she's one of the most important political figures because of her wealth. Now that Warwick is dead. And they're like, we need to keep her. Basically need to keep her chained to us for the rest of her life. And so we see the guard pulling the body of Edward while Anne is out. And Anne starts following. And as she gets close, they're like, oh, the guards go to kill her. And Richardo's like, no.
Oh, sorry. Like, I believe it was Henry's body, not Edward's.
Yeah, it was Henry's body.
Yeah, because you said Edward.
Oh, my bad. I meant to say Henry.
Yeah.
So she's like, no, is this Edward? Like, you killed him. And Richardo's like, leave us. And Richardo's like, yep, I killed him. And and
Anne didn't want to believe it.
And Anne gets sick. Like, she starts to feel ill. And Richardo starts telling her the truth. Like, I became this way because I loved you. And then you forsaked me. And here I am. But, I'm here to save the day because I want you to marry me. And they kiss. But as they kiss, Anne has this weird feeling. And she's like, I have this weird feeling. I've been feeling ill lately. Don't tell me. And that's where it cuts off. But it's pretty obvious to anyone who can put two and two together. She's pregnant with the now deceased Edward's child.
Yep.
While about to marry Richardo, whom she used to love, whom her former husband loved, who, however, Richardo is heartbroken because of Henry forsaking her. Oh God, bro, the fucking the love Pythagorean theorem going on here.
Yeah.
Golly, bro. the
It was
fuck?
holy cow.
It was holy cow. It was incredible. It was sad. It was so gut wrenching. The mother is an absolute. You have to call her a cunt. There's no other fucking word to describe
No,
that
it was just
woman.
like
No other word.
It's gonna be satisfying when she dies.
So goddamn satisfying.
And poor Richard.
Bro, hold on. Do you put the mother in the same light as Rachel from fucking Tower of God? Same thing. It's gonna be so satisfying when she dies.
Yeah, but a little bit more of the mother because she's just going out of her way to ruin Richard's life.
Yeah.
No matter how
Seriously.
good Richard is doing for them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it's just ruining any form of happiness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just wants it gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Richard won't kill her because it's still family. That's the problem. Like Richard would have to hire someone to kill her.
I'm hoping that it's Elizabeth that kills the mother because she's evil too.
Yeah.
And so then they can kill Elizabeth.
Probably Elizabeth will have to talk to Richard too.
Probably.
Like convince.
Probably because at this point, Richard is, he's kind of the ultimate trump card because he has no loyalty to anything because his life is in shambles.
Yeah,
he does love his brothers,
especially now.
Yeah, he loves his brothers, but
yeah, he won't. Yeah, he won't take the throne. He won't.
He doesn't want the throne. I mean, we all know he's going to end up with the throne, clearly.
But, we don't know. We don't know.
I think that in historical context, he does end up with.
But we got to figure out how did we get there, basically.
Yes, exactly, indeed. And
yeah, it's just like Richard was like an okay character, just very interested. But these last few episodes, you just see the demented side of Richard,
the catalyst of heartbreaking evil, not just pure evil, but heart.
And they've made that.
Yes.
The family and everyone around him made that.
Yes. And you talk about a product of your surroundings, that is the current Richardo. He is the product of his circumstance. He is the result of his life. This, crazy.
It's rough.
And isn't there like a crazy line too? They're like, "This is my hell" or something like, "This is my punishment," or like a like
Richard is dead, but something.
That reminds me of a line from Love of Kill. I wish they would have said that in fucking in Requiem. There's a line at the end of Love of Kill that says, if your love is like something, if like your love is something like evil or something like that, let the pathway of our happiness be shed in violence and death or some shit like that. It was an incredible fucking line from Love of Kill. Yeah. And goddamn, does that also ring effect in fucking Requiem too? Ooh, shit.
But yeah, core 1 is done. We
5
go
stars.
on.
5 stars for core 1.
I gave it 3.5.
I've given it 5, dude. It's so.
I want to give it 3 to core, but we're not gonna do that. If I round up, then yeah, maybe.
Well, we're not gonna grade it until freaking.
Yeah,
we're not gonna grade
it. It's actually over.
Until it's over. But I mean, for me, this core is like, you know what? I'll be fair. This core is like a 4.5. I can't quite give it a 5. This is all
again. It's more of the animation. Like half the face. There's no faces for like half the.
I don't even care because this story is so enthralling. It is one of the best stories by far.
Right.
This season, and no one talks about it. It's all Attack on Titan. It's all Demon Slayer. It's all Dress Up Darling. And what?
Yeah, and Dress Up. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all those 3. No one talks about any of the anime, and there's a lot of good anime, but Requiem is one of the least talked about, least appreciated shows. It's got a 52% on analyst.co. 52. What? Yeah. How is that show a 52?
I don't know.
Oh my God, dude. Like the people that are voting are truly uncultured. If you can't like Requiem, you are uncultured. I firmly believe that.
All right. Do you remember anything from the finale of World's End Harem?
Yeah, kind of.
This would be very, very, very quick. But yeah, you see more of Shota's makeover.
Yeah, we basically find out that he was put into a
cryosleep again.
Into cryosleep again, except this time it's to age forward, and so they aged him to 21. He was 16 at the time, so they aged him 5 years to 21, basically where he would be had he lived.
Yeah.
So he's back to 21, and it also bothered me. You know what? I very rarely give modern shows a 2 out of 5. I ended up giving World's End Harm a 2 out of 5 because of the fact that he fucking is 21 and he's sleeping with 16-year-old high school girls.
Yeah.
Nope. I'm done. I'm done with that. I was like, wow, that killed it. Killed it. Nope. I'm good.
Yep. And all right. So what's gonna go ahead? Basically, Mira is as a captive now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what you call it, Reito is going to his high school sweetheart finally.
Finally, yeah. Oh, and we find out Karen basically is now like the ops of like Japan, and she's also evil because she's working with Chloe Mansfield, but for her own purposes, and she's using Doi to do that basically.
Yeah, she wants to be number one in the world, and but she said she'll take Japan as a start.
Yep.
But yeah, all that happened. Reito finally meets not Mira.
Arisa,
yes. You see them talking during the credits.
Yes.
And end scene. That was it.
An end scene. There will be a season 2, but who watches it?
I'll pass.
I want, and it's a shame because it's a good story, but there's so many different elements that just
but
tanked it.
Yeah, 2.
Gave it a 2 out of 5.
Yeah, we're done.
I rarely give it a 2 out of 5, and I gave the motherfucker a 2 out of 5.
But yeah, we got quick and easy. It's over. Good talk.
Anyway,
let's see how many we got left. 1, 2, 3. We got 3.
Do we?
Yeah. Genus Prince. Let's do Genius.
We do. Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we got Genius, Sasaki, and Darlin.
Yeah. It was a very solid ending for Genus Prince. It wasn't the all-out bang out like, oh my god, incredible. But
no,
it was an okay finish to a very solid show.
Yeah, it was consistent. It wasn't great. It wasn't like perfect, but it was consistent all throughout the season.
Yeah.
And I enjoy these characters a lot.
Yes.
And I love the dynamic of Nim and Wayne.
Yep.
Sister's great for when she stepped up.
Yep.
Zeno's fun. The humor's there when it hits.
Mm-hmm.
It's not it wasn't fan servicey like you expect from a fantasy.
Nope, it wasn't.
No, but we have fun. Basically, Wayne talks to Soldius. He wants to about forming the alliance.
Yeah.
And then it eventually led to like you see Soldius basically ignoring him.
Yep.
Like, oh yeah, have food. It's like get fat.
Yep.
All those like basically avoiding talks as much as possible. But before all that happened, Wayne was talking to Zeno, and then Zeno's kingdom was basically they were denying the merchant like the goods from the east.
Yeah.
And so Wayne was like telling like, keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if they have a problem, they'll come here. They'll talk. Like, I gotta talk to me.
Yeah. And
like, if there's a alliance being formed with these two kingdoms. If that happens, it's gonna lead to a war.
Mm-hmm.
And then we talked to Soldius and Wayne. They eventually have a talk near the end of the episode, and then and it was a surprising part where Soldius invited him to like sit with next to Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you know what I am, right? It's like, and I'm a religious person, but I don't care. I judge people by their actions, not ancient scriptures or whatever. And if I have to go to hell for it, I'll be God when I eventually die.
Yeah.
And then basically Soldius agrees to the alliance with Wayne. And as they leave, he's like, suckers.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get a war.
Yeah.
All that's going on. I was like, I've been tricked. And then basically Zeno blames herself. It's like, I'll take any form of punishment. Like, it's all my fault.
Mm-hmm.
What was that? What was the name of that kingdom? That Delunio?
Delunio, yeah.
Yeah. Who was that guy though?
The Sergius.
Was it Sergius?
Sergius, yeah. He's the prime minister of Delunio.
Oh, okay, yeah. He's talking to Wayne and Zeno.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, oh well, basically like we won't join your alliance, but we'll take all your refugees. Oh, good. That's 800,000 people you're gonna take in.
Nani?
Yep. Oh, and by the way, the yellow you guys are wearing, that was a poison.
Nani?
Yeah, so it's like, oh yeah, like there's a special type of poison. Like he's like pulling a hat out of his ass.
Right.
Well,
Right.
all that's going on, and he's like, there's no way he's. But the fact that he explained it so maniacally,
Oh yeah, and even fucking Zenobia is just like, how can this guy be so fucking evil that he's willing to sacrifice all of the freaking people in his kingdom just to say that he won?
yeah,
And he literally means it. He literally means it.
yeah, and while all that's going on, the Soldiers' army were being ambushed by Wayne's army, but
Yep.
Soldiers is a fucking beast with that axe.
Yep.
And just lays waste to even like they're his best generals.
Mm-hmm.
And then Wayne's like, well, what's it gonna be with the offer? And yeah, and he eventually caves in. He's like, fine.
God damn it, I guess.
Yeah. And that army joins, they eventually join. And then the Soldiers' army is like, oh, it's a pincer attack. Like, well, we're gonna attack that guys on the left behind us.
Yep.
We attack them, and they'll eventually cross in next to each other for us to escape.
Yep.
And then you see Wayne on top saying checkmate, basically.
Yep.
And they see the major generals jumping up, and behind them, Nim with the big blow.
Bro, that was a fucking savage way too. She climbed up on the fucking bow, leaped off that bitch, and sliced that motherfucker. That was fucking gangster.
And she was apologizing, like,
I'm sorry.
But he's like, don't be formal in battles.
For real.
And then you thought he died, but he didn't.
Nope. He got skinnier.
He got skinnier when he was held captive.
Yep. And they're like, how can you get these? Like, oh, in times of stress or great exertion, I lose weight like crazy. Like, you don't say.
Yeah. And then Wayne talks, and then Soldier's like, well, when's my execution date? And then Wayne's like,
don't be ridiculous. I wouldn't kill you.
Yeah, like I need you for like this alliance type thing. Like I need you, and then like
he's like, sign these papers. And he's like, I'm
no.
not gonna sign them. He's like, I'm gonna fucking die here. What do you mean, bro? He's like, I'm content. Like my life is easy. You know, fuck it. I'm gonna die. And he's like, well, if you die, you know, like he says some shit like you won't be able to like do something.
Yeah, and but then Soldier's like, I'll sign, but
I want to know what
I want the real
beast
you.
is. I want the real you. I want to know what your inner beast is. What do you do to feed your beast or quell your beast?
And what do you want?
And we hear and we see what's it called? We see Wayne say inaudibly, like we can't hear what it is, but he says something. And the more he says, the more in shock and in fear. He's
also very interested.
Yeah, Garoon is. And then finally Garoon is like, I love it. He's like, all right, I'll sign your papers.
And he's like, I can't die now. I need to know what happens.
He's like, I can't die now. I need to know what happens. And I'm not the only one that wants to know what you can do to this fucking continent. That was a good, and then solid end.
Yeah, they celebrate. There's a party.
Yep.
We go to the next day, and Nim tells Wayne, oh yeah, we're back to square one.
He's like, what? Yeah.
After reparations.
Yeah.
We gotta give money to these people and all that.
Loss of people, loss of like the
merchandise.
War costs. Yep. He's like, we're back to square one.
And he goes back to, I can't wait to sell the kingdom and go away.
End scene.
Do you think we'll get a season 2?
I hope we do.
Yeah, I feel like he wants to give it all up. That way he could be in the same class as.
Do I think we're gonna get a season 2? I don't think so. Do I hope we get a season 2? Hell yeah, I hope we do.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I hope we do. I gave it a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, just about. I want more Nim.
I do want more Nim. I want more Wayne. I want more.
She's waifu. Not best girl, but waifu.
Did we do a category for waifu and male
husbando? We did not. We could probably add it for this year.
You want to add it for the season?
Yeah, we'll add it. Make it interesting. Like it's not best boy, best girl. Just people like waifu husbando.
Waifu and husbando. All right, let me add that now. I'm unlocking as I unlock some victory box from.
Yeah, she's definitely waifu material.
Let me add it to the shit. Add it to the shits, bro. Add it to the shits. Best waifu. I got to think of it because I don't know.
Best wafer cookie.
Best wafer cookie. The wafer cake.
The wafer cake.
Best husbando.
I don't know which one to do next because both of these were excellent.
What do we have left?
Darlin and Sasaki.
Let's go with Darling because I think that Sasaki had the happier end.
Right. Okay.
I'll make that decision for you.
Yeah. All right. There we go. Problem solved.
Problem solved, bro. Our co-main and main event of the evening, guys. After 3 hours of recording, well, almost. We're not there yet.
We're almost there.
We started at around 9:20.
It will be 3 hours when we're done.
No, it won't be, bro. It'll be almost, but not quite, because we started around like 9:20 ish is when I started the recording. Okay. It's currently 11:42, so we're a little over 2 hours currently.
Okay. All right. My dress up, darling. We had the most ecchi episode of the show.
I loved it. It was fucking hilarious. I died laughing when I saw the magic wand on the stand. I fucking pissed myself laughing. And then when I heard the orgasm noises,
but before we do that, let's explain how we got there. Basically, Marin introduces Gojo to slice of life manga.
Yes, they're on a date and they go into
not really a date. They're at a manga shop to cool off.
Yeah, well, they're on a date, but they decide to go into the net cafe. They go into a net cafe to cool off. And Gojo's freaking out. He's like, "I'm so close to her. I'm so close to her."
Yeah. And then she introduces this manga which has the succubus character that she wants to cosplay next.
Yes.
But it's a little bit of a challenge because you can't see her actual outfit due to being a lolly size and her hair covering her body.
Yes, and on top of that,
it has to make it like an actual...
I died laughing when Marin just like casually said, like, yeah, it makes you have dirty dreams and the succubus sucks all your sperm out and you'll feel better. Die. And then fucking Gojo's like, how is that wholesome? What the fuck?
And then he's just reading like, oh.
Yeah, he starts thinking about it. Oh man.
Yeah, and then they're texting each other. Gojo says that the outfit's done because it was basically all he do is like make the top.
Yeah.
And she just had to buy panties.
Basically. Well, swimsuit.
Well, basically, yeah. She just had to get bottoms for herself.
Swimsuit bottoms, yeah. Even though the same thing as fucking panties, but
yeah. And she's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I rented this room for the pictures."
Right.
For the photo shoot, it was relatively cheap.
Yeah. Come to find out, what is the room, Matt?
It's a love hotel. Have sex, all that. They have for a few hours. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
For 6,000 yen, which is approximately $60.
Yep. And then Marin's like, "Oh, it's no big deal. But there's this wand right here by the bed."
They're like, "Oh, look at what they say. They're like, look at this back massager."
Yeah. Yeah.
He didn't even realize it.
So Gojo's trying to keep his erection.
He's definitely fucking trying not to lose his shit.
Yeah. So Marin's like, "I'm gonna go get dressed real quick." So Gojo tries to keep his mind off it by turning on the TV. And what was on the TV? Porn. But first he pauses it, and then he just mutes it to watch it. And
then he gets all these fucking ideas in his head about it.
And then she eventually comes out. She looks great in the succubus outfit.
Right.
They start taking pictures. But there was this one angle he wanted to do, but he couldn't get it the right way. So,
all the pictures are going well. They're all going fantastic. Nothing crazy.
Just not the.
They're having the time of their life. They're having time of their life. Yep.
Yeah, and they're talking about how much fun they're having together.
Yep.
And then Gojo's like, "Okay, for this right angle, like here we go. Sit on
top of me." And then Marin, of all people, was like, "Are you sure?"
Basically, I don't want to crush you.
And Gojo's like, yeah, I'm fine. It's all good. She's like, if I'm too heavy, let me know. She's like, oh, you're fine. I'll be fine. Yeah. And so he sits on, and then fucking sits on top of him. And they get the picture. Everything is well. Everything is good. And then they fucking, as they're doing that, they hear.
What? Oh yeah, they hear moaning in the background.
They hear moaning in the background because it is a love hotel.
And then Gojo wakes up saying, "Holy shit, she's on top of me."
He realizes like, "Holy fuck, holy shit!" I didn't realize, like, I was caught up in the moment. I have Marin on top of me. He gets a chub, and we literally see him. They literally show him getting in
right on her ass,
right on her ass. And Marin freaks out because she's like, "Oh my god, something hard is growing. Oh my god, that's fucking Gojo's dick."
Then Gojo grabs her by the hips,
and they freak out, and the lights go
almost
off.
Pressed against each other,
and the lights go off at this moment.
Yeah, and like you see the doki.
Yep, and the breaths. You see the breaths, the Atsui breaths,
the blushing, the breaths. They were about to kiss. They probably could have fucked, but
they really could have. Yeah. They could have done
it. But they find out time expired and the thing went off to let him know.
Such a cock tease. That was
And
such
then,
a cock tease.
And then Mara was like, I'll be right back.
And Marin goes to the bathroom and she is losing her fucking mind.
Yeah.
Losing her mind.
All right. Now for the finale of it.
We went from the most ecchi episode to the least ecchi episode of the season.
Yeah. We get to that. But yeah, Gojo sees fireworks out his window.
It's a Hanabi episode.
Of course, because that's Slice of Life 101.
Yes, indeed. And so, Gojo sees the fireworks at the window. At that moment, he gets a phone call. He's doing the Hina dolls, by the way. He's practicing the Hina dolls finally.
Because
summer's almost over. The fireworks are going off, and he gets a text from Marin saying, I need help. And so he goes to her apartment late at night, and Marin's like, dude, I can't sleep. Fucking whatever. I want to watch a horror movie.
No, because basically her
math homework.
Yeah. Her dad bailed on him.
Yeah,
for the festival because she didn't do her homework.
Yes.
And so eventually they started doing the homework, and then Marin's like, let's take a break. Let's watch a horror movie.
And Gojo's like, I don't really watch horror movies. Is this scary? Like, that's not that bad. And then we see Gojo like firmly, intently looking at the screen. Meanwhile, Marin is pissing herself, scared.
Yeah, because he's mesmerized by the makeup, the visual effects. Like he wants to learn all this shit.
You could tell that's what's probably gonna be his real career. He's gonna be like makeup artist at SFX.
Oh yeah, or just making the costumes. Yeah, you can make a shit ton of money if you just did commissions in general.
Oh yeah, dude. I want to know the amount of money he made from fucking Jujutsu. Must have been a lot.
It's gotta be $200. Just
gotta be. Well, $200 is $200,000 yen.
But I was saying, like in our money, like an actual legit good cosplay, you can get like $400 to $600 handmade with the labor, the materials, all that.
Yes. Oh, and you're forgetting that what's it called? Marin says like, oh, I didn't have time for the homework because I was working at my part-time job, and Gojo's like, what is your part-time job?
We finally find out her job.
A fucking model.
A part-time model.
And she is gorgeous. It is suggestive given the fact that, by definition, she's a 16-year-old model. She's an amateur 16-year-old model, teen model.
Oh, but not in a
sexual way, just provocative, there's a difference between sexual and provocative.
Yeah, if someone actually realized that, but
Yeah, I know. But pedo darling.
that stuff is just so
funny.
I get it.
I do too, but you can't.
But it's like
you can't correlate.
But it's like Butters from Game of Thrones. You're focusing too much on the wiener, except for the stuff that's what it's actually about.
I mean, fucking the big Drago did fucking fuck Damaris, and Damaris is supposed to be like what 15, and Drago's like 30 or some shit.
Yeah, but it's like you like why couldn't they be 18? Okay, the main audience for anime, manga, light novel is
teenagers,
and they're considered adults in Japan.
And they are, yep, exactly.
Yeah, and
not adults. They're not adults. No.
Like they're consenting.
Yeah, it's because age of consent. Age of consent is
like 15, they're of the consent.
And what's crazy is that age of consent was just recently raised, because the age of consent was supposed to be, I think, 14, and they raised it to like 15.
I think it's 16.
Is it 16 now? But it was 14.
Yeah,
that was
like it was like 13, 14. That's ridiculous number.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, but that's the way that the culture is, bro. Like it's one thing where you'll see an anime and it's like, oh, 16-year-old Marins basically lives alone, and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, 16. But these people live in apartments. Like they're like they could do anything. They could afford it with just a part-time job while going to school. We don't get that shit.
Nope, not at all.
Not even like in our 30s.
No, not even in our 30s, bro.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. And it's like, why can't they be college? Again, the main demographic is the teens.
It is. And
you can't just we can't do parental block there because it's not considered 18 plus in the States.
Basically.
So basically it's just get rid of anime, but no one's gonna want that.
Nope, not at all.
So shut the fuck up. And it's just a drawing. It's just a fucking drawing.
I mean, I jerk off the hentai, so it could be a little bit.
But still. Like, take it easy. It's just a drawing. Thank you, Patrick.
It's a hot drawing, though.
Sure, but still.
It's a hot drawing, bro. When Senpai fucking climbs on top of Kohai and
Yeah, but again, this. But they're focused on the wrong stuff, and
I know. Yeah. I get
the
it.
comments are just so fucking stupid.
I know. I totally agree, dude. Because I mean, like, I was gonna mention this at the end, but since we're on the conversation of my joke, the reality of when you look at the bare bones of the show, it's the most unpopular student in the most obscure and unpopular student in the school happenstance, but sorry, speaks to the most popular student
Yeah.
in the school by happenstance, and they share common interests. He does her a favor, does it extremely well, and over the course of them becoming friends, because of the fact that the most popular girl isn't a bitch, she's a very nice girl.
Well, at first, Gojo thought she wasn't a friend, like just a client for just the costume, and that's it.
Yeah, but
And
no, she's like, no, we're friends, dude. And then over the course of them being friends, it's the girl.
She has a crush on him.
The girl is the one that falls, which is rare, especially in when you look at romance animes. It's always the typical trope: the guy fucking falls head over heels for the girl. The girl maybe will fall for him or starts to have feelings. It gets drawn out over the 12 episodes. They end up getting together, or they confess by the 12th episode. They live happily ever after. We don't get any of that in Dress Up Darling.
No.
By the end of it, we'll get to that momentarily, but we don't get to that. And by principle, just the simple principle of the show of the the most obscure boy and the most popular girl becoming friends, falling for each other. And on top of that, especially in the final episode, they go into very great detail when it comes to cosplay. And it's very well written, and it's a very good spotlight on the wonders of the cosplay universe. And that's one, obviously, My Dress Up Darling is based off of the cosplays, and they do a really good job highlighting the cost of camera, the cost of studio, the cost of costuming, the details in costuming, the levels that you need to like reach, or you need to go through, the sacrifices you have to like put in order to have the most amazing dress up or the most amazing cosplay that you possibly can. And they make it as an expensive hobby or a really nice hobby, but they make it into a lifestyle. They really embrace the lifestyle of cosplay. Those people that go to every single convention as different fucking cosplays, and they're normally really, really good cosplays as well, with really good quality materials. The people that you can stand in line and get pictures with, like, wow, like they really highlight that, and that's really, really good. At the end of the day, I feel like we're skipping ahead because I'm giving you a review. So I'll hold off.
But no, you're right. You are.
Yeah.
But let's move on.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Basically, Marin forgot her math homework at the school.
Yes. They're like, I'm done with English. And they're like, oh, thank God I didn't have to do math. And Gojo's like, yeah, we did. The fuck? And she's like, no, what do you mean? And then she forgot to grab it. Like, oh, like, here's your math homework. And she's like, I left that school.
So they eventually go to school. They sneak into the school.
Yep.
Because it's still closed off.
Yep.
And eventually they talked about the whole like going to the festival type thing, like, but that doesn't trust me, yada yada.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, if we do the homework, like, we'll go to the festival together.
Yeah.
And they eventually do the homework.
So you're also skipping the pool scene. And the pool scene is very critical because of the fact, like, yeah, they fall into the pool.
Oh yeah, she can't fucking swim.
She can't swim, which is hilarious. But I was highlighting it. I didn't think about the fact that she couldn't swim. That's actually a funny point that she brought up. Gojo saves her. But this is where that conversation that I literally just had about the cosplay like effect, that's where they talk about it in great detail, and the appreciation that she has for Gojo and his craft, and the appreciation that Gojo has for Marin and her dedication and love for it. They have a really serious conversation about the hobby in which they love the most. They relate it to the Hina dolls as well, because Gojo and his Hina dolls, but it's really, really well done, really, really good highlight, and a really, really good point to drive home. Like, if it's a really good nail to put in the coffin of it being a solid show beyond the etchiness, is just that specific highlight.
Right. They see the pool water, like, oh, it's only for swim club, but no one's here.
Yeah.
Puts her foot in the water. And floop. That's go just say there was like, how can you not swim?
I just go to the beach to take pictures and hang out.
Yeah, like I eat food and take pictures. That's all I need.
Life of a teenage girl, bro.
Look, I can relate.
But okay,
anyway, thank you.
Oh man.
All right, but We get to the festival. He's still in it. He still has the same clothes.
So no, he went in the episode 11, I think, when they were on their date. They were passing by a shop and he picked up a new it's still the traditional outfit, but it's got shorts and it's got like cutouts where where the sleeves are, so and the sleeves are shorter.
I know, like did they go clothes shopping for actual clothes a few episodes?
No, he just happened to walk by the store and he's like, oh, I really like it, and he picked up something that he liked.
All right.
Yeah.
Still so he's the same outfit.
And we see Marin in a yukata and gorgeous, absolutely spectacularly.
And of course,
gorgeous.
She has to tease Gojo. It's like, oh yeah, like what's wrong with my neck? Does this get you excited?
You like by the nape of my neck? Gojo's like,
And she's like, oh shit.
My yabai, which means no way. And she's like, of course I'm gonna tease you.
Yeah. But what was her main priority of this festival?
Eating like a pig.
All the things, and then
all the food,
and then Gojo's like,
he spent an arm and a leg on food, and she ate. She was a human garbage.
No, he was holding everything. She only ate a couple of them. He had his hands full of all this stuff.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Like sweet, savory, frozen candies, everything in between.
Yeah.
And then you see the fireworks,
and they're beautiful.
Yeah,
some of the most beautiful fireworks that I've seen in anime, truthfully.
Yeah, and then they look at each other like it's like there's gonna be a moment, and then
dude, when you think about it, bro, I haven't seen fireworks like that since Kaguya-sama season 1.
Oh yeah,
or see the end of season 2. Sorry, the Kaguya-sama the end of season 2, and Violet Evergarden.
Yes,
those fireworks were gorgeous.
But yeah, it looked like it was a sweet, wholesome moment, and then bleh. Bleh. Why is your tongue blue?
Bro, I fucking died laughing seeing that shit too.
He's like, why is your tongue blue?
Yeah, she's like, oh, you blew Hawaii. Your tongue was blue, like on purpose. Yeah, the fuck.
Yeah, and all the food miraculously disappeared later because she takes off her sandals. And she has like this.
That's why I said she ate the food because she's a glutton, or they ate the food.
I was gonna say, yeah, they both had it, unless
there's no way they threw
it out.
Yeah, there's no way they threw it away. They ate it all.
Yeah, all going on. Like, yeah, her foot's fucked up right now because the sandal it broke. It was like rubbing on her bare foot.
Yep.
So he's like holding on to her, like picks her, like, get on my back.
Yep.
And they do that. So
you get boob on chest, and he's like,
yep. And then,
bro, you held her waist and was about to kiss her, and you had her fucking monko on your chimpo. Come on, bro. Anyway.
But yeah, they Gojo's about how he had a good time. And he wants to do more festivals like this.
And Marin's like, let's do it again next year. And he's like, next year, huh? And then he smiles. And that's how the episode ends for now.
Did you see the after credit?
I did.
Okay, yeah, we're going to go to that now.
We're going to go to the after credit.
It's past midnight. Gojo's sleeping.
No, he's about to go to sleep.
He's about to go to sleep. He gets a phone call. It was from Marin. And she talks about how she can't sleep. And we find out she was watching the horror movie, the sequel of the
horror movie. And now
he was like, why?
And keep in mind, this is the day before school's supposed to start again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were talking, and then
Marin's like, can we just talk on the phone? Like, you can fall asleep on the phone with me. It's fine. I just want to hear your voice.
Yeah.
And
then
he's like, okay.
They were.
And she talks and talks and talks and talks like a typical woman. Talks and talks and talks and talks and talks and talks into the early morning. And Gojo is falling asleep. Gojo finally falls asleep. And you just hear him gently breathing in the phone. It was a really fucking adorable because it reminded me all the times I used to do that shit in high school with some of the girls I used to talk to. And I used to adore, like, that was like one of the little things I used to love is like doing that, you know?
Yeah. And
really
then
cute. Really, really cute. Typical high school shit, but it was cute.
Yeah. Yeah. Marin was like, she starts smiling and she tells Gojo that she loves him.
That was fucking adorable too.
And then just talks to the camera like, see you soon.
No, and she's like, well, I don't know why I'm saying this anyway. My man is asleep already. She's like, well, good night, Gojo. See you soon. Bye, everyone.
Yeah.
Episode ends.
Good shit.
Good shit. 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Gave it a 5 out of 5. At the end of the day, like I said, like I was gonna say, you know, yes, the show can do away with some of the scenes, with some of the ecchi scenes. There's no need for close-ups. There's no need for some of the explicit sexuality, and apparently the manga's worse from what Ernie has told me. And there's not a need for a lot of that, but when you look at everything at its face value, it's an incredibly told story. It's incredibly well animated. It's very detailed. Um, and it has a good rich story, and it makes you, there's great character investment within the characters, for all the characters really, that we do get to see, and it's really 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 well done. I can't by any stretch of the imagination pretend that it's wholesome in any way, shape, or form. And that's another thing I did mention as well to several people, is the fact that you know if you go back to Jobless Reincarnation and you see the fact that Eris and Rudy have sex, and Eris is 15 and Rudy's 13, and Eris is considered an adult at 15 in that anime, but the way that it was done was very 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 wholesome. It was very pure and innocent, and there's a reality with life that not children, I shouldn't say that, let me back that up, teenagers, they're curious, they have sex, and that's fine. It's all part of it, as long as they do it responsibly and they use protection, then everything's all good. But just the principality of that curiosity makes it fairly okay. And as long as it's done in an appropriate or what's it called, graceful way,
and it's human, like,
and it's human,
we want to learn about this, but the fact in like years and years it's considered this taboo thing,
and
where people haven't had sex ed classes or
like I said, I get the idea of what many people are saying with it, and I agree to the extent that it doesn't need it nearly as much given how powerful the story is. It kind of is just like, it's kind of like a cop out in a way when you have so much ecchi for such a story like that, but at the same time, when you can move past all of that, it's stupendously fucking done, stupendously written, stupendously done and executed. I cannot wait for it to be a season 2, and I really hope when they do the season 2, they don't choose to do it on a really packed season like they chose season 1. It's not going to win any real awards. I mean, it might win, it probably will win romance of the season, probably over our final, because just given the nature of gay and lesbian things, it's not going to get as much love, I don't believe. But in any case, I mean, it would be anime of the season if it wasn't for fucking AOT and Demon Slayer. Bottom line, period. No matter how much you hate it, how much you don't like it, that's the reality of it. This show was so good, so incredibly done, and it was a point of conversation, whether it was contentious or whether it was civil, whether it was accepted, whether it was happiness, there's the different points of discussion, because an anime is such a focal point of contention and focal point of conversation. It's a needle mover anime, and any needle mover anime will always be at the top, point blank, period, no matter what, the end. And that's what Dress Up Darling is. That's a needle mover anime, and it was unexpected considering when you really think about it. I mean, people that have seen and read the manga probably would have expected it, but for many of us that are anime only, when you hear Dress Up Darling, like, yeah, it's whatever, and then when you see it, you're like, oh man, and then when you really delve into it, it's fucking wow, bro.
Right. You ready for the main event?
Yeah, I'm falling asleep here, dude.
Yeah, me too. Sasaki and Miyano.
So beautiful.
Holy fuck.
I'm so grateful that this was the very first gay anime that I ever watched. So grateful.
No, yeah, I'm very happy with it.
It was really well done. Really well done.
Yeah, since you're falling asleep, we'll keep this a little short. Well,
it deserves all the attention. We went into the attention for Dress Up Darling, and this deserves all the attention, bro. I'm awake.
Yeah, we find out more of President Hanzawa, and his family. Like, basically,
he's the only straight brother.
No, he was forced to.
Oh,
because again, like his siblings were saying, "Oh, I want to." I'm gonna have a boyfriend, so don't worry about grandkids. And me too. And the Mo's like, is anyone
straight?
And he was hesitant.
Yeah, he's like, I guess I like girls. And I'm like, okay, good. And I didn't dawn on me.
And she was like, oh, that's a relief.
It didn't dawn on me until you mentioned that. And now I'm really curious about if we get a season 2, and I hope we get a season 2. If we get a season 2, is the manga still going?
Yes.
So if we get a season 2, I would love to know if seeing the relationship with Sasaki and Miyano is going to, or maybe the relationship with Hirano and his dorm mate, or any of the other gay couples around them, including his brothers, if that sways him to come out the closet. Because I mean, that's one of the biggest things about the show, is how to deal with your burgeoning sexuality, as well as the reality of being unsure with an unimaginable, I guess, ideology that's being presented that triggers sense in that. I guess if I'm saying that correctly, I've never, considered that aspect, I guess, of what it's like to think about being gay or to be gay. But if you were to try and rationalize that thought process, there's some that it's just obvious, plain Jane. Unfortunately, you were born a man, but you probably should have been a woman because it's pretty, you wear it well, and vice versa. Like there are those that are just so goddamn obvious, and it's a shame that they're not the opposite sex. But then there's others that are confused, and they like, what is this? Why is this not right? Why do I feel this isn't right? Why do I feel uncomfortable? Why do I not feel happy or fulfilled or satisfied or content? And then they come up with those like feelings, and it's like, oh wow, like, is that wrong? Do I live up to society's expectations, family's expectations? Do you want to avoid, and Hirano talks, or not Hirano, I'm sorry, Hanzawa talks about that, as we'll get to momentarily, with Miyano. And I was one of my favorite parts of the episode was that revelation. And it speaks to the audience as well, because that audience, how many of the audiences do have any sort of homophobic ideologies or don't understand the true plight of being part of the LGBTQ community? It's really, really, really eye-opening from that perspective. Like, you can see things and take them as they are. Like if I were to see Given, for example, given what I know about Given, I don't think it's gonna leave the same impact as it would Sasaki Miyano. Blue Period, where you had the issues with the gay character and their family, that would be another one that would translate well with the Sasaki Miyano conversation they talk about in this in the season finale. Those are things that I thought of when
that was bring that up. That was a vibe I got from when Ryuki dealing with their gender issues with at home.
Keep going.
But yeah, also Miyano does not have a good time to confess to Sasaki.
The whole episode, the whole previous episode, and then the beginning of this episode, he's like trying to find time. Can't.
That's right. They spent Christmas together, and he didn't do it then.
And we don't know. No, you know why he didn't do it then is because of the fact that in his classroom they're like, "Oh, Christmas couples never last," and he had that in his head. And so he's like, let me not. Yeah, he's like, let me not confess at Christmas because I want this to work. And so he waited till after New Year. He waited and he tried to get time. Couldn't do it.
And
finally,
near the end, he eventually does.
He basically corners him, and then freaking Sasaki. And I'm very happy, and we'll get to this momentarily, that Sasaki realized what he might have done. But basically, Sasaki at the end of episode 11. The penultimate episode, he tries to kiss Miyano. Miyano tugs at him, and Sasaki mistakenly takes it as like, "Oh, I don't want to kiss," because at the same time that he's waiting for the kiss, Miyano is summoned by someone from the discipline council, and Sasaki catches himself and he's like, "Oh shit, I shouldn't do that." He's like, "I'm gonna go," and Miyano's like, "No, don't go." Too late, he's gone. Miyano runs, which he's not supposed to run in the hallway. He runs over to the disciplinary committee and he's like, "Tell me tomorrow, fuck it." He runs back to try and find Sasaki, can't find him.
He fucking walks quick.
And he's upset. He's like, "Sasaki thought I didn't want to kiss, but I did want to kiss him." And so as he's walking out the school trying to find him, he meets up with Hirano and Hanzawa, and he tells him like, "I'm looking for Sasaki," whatever the case. They try to call Sasaki, no luck.
It's like, you don't have his number?
No, like what? How do you still not have his number? So then Hirano leaves a fake voice message saying, "You left your shit at school, come pick it up." And as Hirano's trying to get in contact with Sasaki, that's when we get the conversation that we just alluded to a few minutes ago between Hanzawa and Miyano, and we get the flashback from Hanzawa in the previous episode, and as well as this episode, we get the full definition of what he meant in the penultimate episode with his brothers with Miyano. And we find out that again, as we mentioned, all of Hanzawa's brothers, he has a sister, two brothers, and him, and the two brothers are gay. He's got a sister, and now he, as Matt said, has that responsibility thanks to his mom. Like, you have all the grandkids, it's fine. And the boys are like, "Oh, my mother's so accepting," but that's now put in invisible pressure on Hanzawa to be with girls.
That made him a little.
Yeah, and now that we keep talking about it, it dawns on me because remember his brother in the previous episode is like, you have all these girlfriends, but you never go out with them. He's like, I'm just living my life, and then his brother's like, yeah, I had that period, but then there's a little bit of uncomfortability with that, and that makes total sense that he's in the fucking closet, and he mentions how he is fond of Miyano, and I think he's fond of Miyano probably because he thinks he's cute, but more so because of the fact that Miyano had the balls to come out. And he had the balls to be true to himself and to accept his feelings and want to deal with them and confront them and make that decision to be in this relationship. And then they have this conversation as we continue on that basically says like, yo, your life isn't going to be easy. There are plenty of stereotypes that are involved with this type of relationship. People are going to ask you questions that they would normally never dream of asking a straight couple. You're going to be ridiculed. There are people that are going to be upset with you. And then you have Sasaki as well. And how does Sasaki take that? Being with him, like, whatever the case is, being with another man is a really like crazy thing. And they're like, on Miyano's like, oh, how do you know all this? Like, do experience? And he's like, no, through family. And that's when they mentioned that's when he get the flashbacks. Yeah, because of his brothers. And then Miyano basically says, like, I recognize what you're saying, but I think it's gonna be all right as long as I have Sasaki senpai with me, because I know Sasaki senpai isn't like that.
Yeah.
And it was very, very touching. And the story continues on. They're like, oh, hey, they talk about his job, and he asks his what's his face? His friend.
Which one, Taiga?
No, the other one. The one that's obsessed with his girlfriend.
Kurosawa?
Might be Kurosawa.
Or
ask Kurosawa about the pawn shop.
Is it the one with the glasses or the blue?
Yes, glasses.
Kurosawa.
He asked Kurosawa about the pawn shop, and they met because Hirano mentions that, and so he's like, I'm gonna go to the pawn shop because he's like, oh, I've ridden with Sasaki a bunch of times. I know his stop. I just need to know what the address of the pawn shop is. And as he goes on the train, he starts thinking about everything with Sasaki. He wants to see him, wants to confess to him, all that shit. Meanwhile, the scene as this is happening pans over to Sasaki. Sasaki is deep in depression. Sasaki is like, man, I forced myself, which is what I bitched about a few weeks ago about him being aggressive and forceful. He recognized that he was being forceful and that it was wrong. And he's like, I'll apologize to Miyano tomorrow. And he starts thinking about everything. He's like, I fucked up. Like, he felt really bad and he was upset. Meanwhile, he gets the message from Hirano saying he left the shit. He's like, oh, I thought I have everything. Oh, well, I guess I'll go back. And as he's going back, he meets Miyano in the train station, and Miyano's like, I need to talk to you. We need to have a serious conversation. Sasaki's like, okay, let's find a place to talk. They end up talking in like a quiet park where no one's around, and Miyano confesses.
Yep, David. And then it's like, can I hold you?
He starts laughing at first because he's like, yeah, but he doesn't laugh at first. At first, he's like, are you sure? Like, are you really, really, really sure?
Yeah.
You can take more time. And Miyano's like, I've taken enough time. Like I mean,
yeah, like it just threw him off guard.
And he says something, I think, and Miyano starts laughing. Sasaki starts laughing. And Miyano's super embarrassed. And then, as Matt said, Sasaki's like, "Can I hold you? Can I hold you?" Yeah, and they embrace, and it's a very nice, warm, loving hug.
Kiss.
And he's like, "Can I kiss you?" And Miyano's like, "Yeah, you can kiss me." And they have a beautiful kiss under the sunset.
And that, I believe, in a park.
Yeah, in a park. And they're like, oh, I don't have your number. Like, oh, I don't have your number. And they exchange numbers. But then basically...
And then, Miyano takes his phone, takes Sasaki's phone to call a friend saying, yeah, I'm with him. It's cool.
Yeah. So then at the end of the episode, basically, that they, Miyano is the one that asked Sasaki, like, listen, he's like, I've seen this in a BL manga where the main people kiss and they don't get together. I don't want that to happen. Sasaki, be my boyfriend. And he starts laughing. That's when he starts really laughing. And Sasaki's like, no, let me ask you, like, Miyano, do you want to go out with me? And it flashes back to that joke that semi-serious joke that he made earlier in the season where he asked Miyano to go out with him while he was hanging out by the window in the summer. And Miyano says yes, and they kiss again, and they're going out.
And then we get after credits.
Yes.
Miyano talking to Masato and Toshiro about like I'm dating Sasaki.
Yep. And basically all the friends find out.
Yep. And then Sasaki tries to talk about it, and then you see Miyano there with him, and now everyone knows.
Yeah. Now, and even fucking what's his face, the other senpai,
Kurosawa or
no,
Jiro?
the blue haired senpai,
Jiro.
Jiro, yeah. He's like, what's going on? I'm like, we'll tell you later.
And it's like, can I tell my girlfriend? It's like, no.
No.
Like, you never.
Right.
And then we got announcement of there's another anime project coming.
So do you know for sure it's an OVA, or you don't know? You're just making an
I'm
assumption.
looking now. I believe one of them, it says OVA July 27th.
And do you think that's focusing on Hirano, or do you not know?
No, sorry. There is two things. One's the anime project, and then the other one's the OVA.
I really think they're going to focus now on Hanzawa. Although it's tough because Hanzawa is graduating. So how are they going to incorporate the graduating senpais in the story?
We got to find out. But what did you give this?
4. I gave it a 4 out of 5.
I gave it 4.5.
I gave it a solid 4. I would give it, if I could give it a half, I would give it 4.5. It's just, I can't give it a 5 because it doesn't click with me in the same way. But, and the issues that I had originally with the forcefulness and things of that nature. But it's a beautiful story. It's really well done. And like I said, I'm really grateful that I saw this as my first yaoi, because like I said, I could see something like a Given, and you take it at face value, like there's a love triangle, square, whatever you want to call it, octagon between all the fucking band members and stuff. But I think shows that deal with the more pressing matters of sexuality are ones that should stick out more, and that's why I'm very curious to see I am very curious now after seeing this show, seeing that movie you saw. I forget the movie now, the one that's on Funimation, the gay one.
Oh, Stranger by the Shore, because it does deal with that ideology of dealing with issues, or internal issues as well as like external issues for being gay, and it's very intriguing from that standpoint. But the way that they tackle that is really, really nice. And so you see things like that. You see things like Wonder Egg Priority with the episode with the trans woman and the gay woman, and Momo. You see things with Momo dealing with her, like her identity crises, her sexual crises, and things of that nature. And it's very touching, and I find that very, very desirable to watch, to understand that facet of life that I don't deal with on the regular, so it's very, very inspiring from that standpoint, for sure. All right, closing thoughts.
This is a really good season of anime. A lot of surprises, a lot of things that stood out, a lot of things that I feel I'm going to remember. With a lot of shows and a lot of seasons, you may find that they're very forgettable, with the exception of one or two shows. And I think this is one of the stronger seasons that we've had in a long time, because there are several shows that are going to stick out, at least for me. Sasaki Miyano is going to stick out for me. Dress Up Darling sticking out for me. Of course, Demon Slayer. If I was watching Attack on Titan, that would too. Requiem is the big one that stands out for me. Very, very big for sure. That sticks out. And and then solid shows for the rest of them. A mindfuck ending, the biggest mindfuck ending I've ever seen in anime, with Platinum End. So many things that you can talk about that is just like you really, it resonates. This is a season of resonation, I feel.
Right. Alrighty. Next week we're gonna talk about the finales of Vanitas Part 2, Realist Hero,
and Tokyo 24th.
And Tokyo 24th Ward. As long as we didn't do it this time, but we're going to do next week the special for Mushoku Sensei. And then our winter awards along with our spring watch list.
Are we doing the spring watch list that episode?
Yeah, we'll talk about what we're going to watch. Alrighty. We will all see you next week. Follow me on Twitter at DamianPhoenix12, as long as at Talk to Keki for our Talk to Keki Twitter. We have a link tree, which you can find your favorite local podcast, Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio, etc. All right, your plug.
Yep, you can follow me on Twitter at SHOSTOPPA24. That's Showstopper24. You can follow me on my anime Instagram, AI_anime24. You can follow me on my podcast Instagram at podcast.senpai. And you can follow us on our Talk to Keki Instagram at TALKTHEKEKI, Talk to Keki. Again, as Matt said, we have a link tree where it'll take you to wherever you want to listen to our show and wherever you want to follow us on social media. All of our other, or at least all of my other connections also have link trees to follow some of my other personal endeavors and my other podcasts. Shout out to B. Ronan and the Orlando Tragics podcast. Shout out to my boy Andy at the MMA for Marks podcast. We've been producing a lot of content for that lately. So if you want to check out some really good I'm sorry, not anime. If you want to check out some good MMA and boxing news, check us out there. Other than that, bro, let's go to bed.
All right. In the meantime, arigato, anato faku, and sayonara.
Sayonara, minasan.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.